Level up. I almost forgot to open the show. It's been too long. I was like, wait, we say something at the beginning of that. Level up and welcome back. This is Save Before Quitting. I go by the name of Ant. That right there is Chris.
I am Chris.
He is Chris.
My Duolingo owl is threatening to murder me.
You don't want to get him mad. Is he a wizard owl like Harry Potter?
Let's see. No, currently he has 2 laser eyes and he's like, fucking learn Italian.
Yeah, he better learn that Italian.
I will eventually.
Mamma mia. Welcome back. Welcome to the show. As always, as we start this show, save letter B number 4 quitting on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. Titty. Shout out to the Titty Gang. Titty Gang all day. Save Before Quitting, all the way spelled out at gmail.com and savebeforequitting.com if you want to get some fine merch like this hoodie I'm wearing right now.
Hell yeah.
Some dope stuff. It's cool outside. Get yourself a hoodie, some socks, a hat. We got plenty of stuff on there for you to get, and we appreciate it if you'd go there and do that. We also have a Patreon. Join the Patreon. The links are down below. Got some dope stuff on there. If you like this show, it's more of this, but maybe less gaming, just more about us going back and forth, joking around, talking about our lives and all the other BS going on out here. Discord. We also have a Discord. That link is below, along with the other ones. Join the Discord. Have some fun in there. Don't be a jerk.
Yeah, that's
Just
the one
join.
rule.
That's the one rule. Join the Discord. Talk about games coming out. How what you're playing right now. Are you working out? We got a fitness section. We got what else? We got in the Discord.
If you buy nerdy shit, you can post that there.
Weekly
You can recommend
pickups.
some games.
Definitely.
And always, as always, the news too.
Yes, and the news, which we will get into. Yeah, man. You got anything to say at the top of the show?
No.
I want to say, if I had a crown down here, I would have put it on this man's head. He has been carrying the show for a straight month. And I've been feeling like that, and I've been wanting to give you your flowers, so to speak. And so that this guy, he's been playing the games, he's been cutting up the clips, he's been posting the clips, he's been a one-man army, and I appreciate him as a partner in this thing while I was dealing with some real life and some professional shit. So,
which you can hear about on Patreon.
On Patreon, I went into all of that. But you know, that the heavy load seems to be lifting now, so you'll be seeing more of me, hearing more of me. I feel good. It was all worth it in the end, but I'm glad you were here, sir, to hold it down.
Holding it down.
Because you did, in fact, hold it down.
Yeah. I would just love it if TikTok could make sense with what they want.
One day we'll figure out what they want.
But yeah, we got hella TikToks right now. If you haven't watched on our YouTube, or if you didn't catch it live, we played through Man of Medan, top to bottom. We didn't get the best ending for the way we played, but eventually, once the end of the episodes get put out, or if you want to go watch the VODs, you can do that too. You'll see we looked at all the other endings as well. But we got a specific ending that wasn't the best one.
It wasn't the worst one, though.
It wasn't, but needless to say, some people didn't make it out.
No, they didn't. They didn't make it out.
Spoilers. But yeah, go check out the Man of Medan videos. They're out right now.
That was fun. That was a good time.
Mm-hmm. You still have that 4 more to go.
Very last scene that fucked us both up.
Oh yeah, that was awful, dude. Unnecessary.
Unnecessary. Mm-hmm. Definitely. But other than Man of Medan, Chris, what have you played this week?
I have so many games. I'm at a current point in my life where I don't do much of anything, if I'm being honest.
Right.
So I've been playing games. That's all I've been. I had to make a list. Like yesterday when we were talking about doing today as the podcast, I was like, I need to write this down because I will not remember everything.
Right.
Starting from what we streamed already, what I streamed, Resident Evil 4 2005. I've been playing the fuck out of that. It seems to be doing pretty good on Twitch.
Pretty entertaining playthrough.
It's fun. Here's the thing. I knew it was going to be fun when it was suggested to us probably maybe like 3+ years ago to play it.
Yeah.
I put it off because I'm a bitch. It's a little less scary than I expected, so that's kind of working out to my favor.
It's more of an action game than just straight up horror.
Like, there's still scary elements. Like, I've gotten jump scared by a few things here and there. I also, I think you might have missed it the last time, but I got screwed over in a boss fight. It was the one. Have you played Resident Evil 4? No, like throughout the game, like
I've played Resident Evil 4 like back when it came out, but I don't remember shit from that.
Do you remember?
I put it like this: I've played Resident Evil 4. I've not beat Resident Evil 4.
Do you remember the boss fight with the lava pit in the middle that you could like open up?
I don't remember. It's been too long. Like, even if I did do it, I don't remember it.
So pretty much there's this lava pit in the middle of the room and two giant like ogres show up, like the big guys that you have to kill.
Yeah.
And I thought that you could get them both in the lava pit. Turns out you can't. You can only get one in the first game. In the remake, apparently you can get both if you time it right. But in the first game, physics engine didn't work that way, where they were like, we can have two people fall into lava. Not allowed. So I didn't know this. And my first boss fight, it just went so bad the first time I did it. I ran out of ammo entirely.
Oh, shit.
But then I started doing the fight with my knife. So I'd run through the guy's legs, like to like bait him, and then he would charge at you, run into a wall, and then once he hit the wall, you had time for 3 knife slices exclusively at his knees. And I did it like 2 times and got him to the point where like there's like this quick time event that happens where you go up to him, you press E or whatever the button is on controller, you jump up on his back, and he has like a little parasite coming out of his back that has like blades and shit. So you start spamming X to cut it, and like that's how you killed the boss. I was so close because I had no health. Like, you couldn't see my health anymore, my health bar. It was just like straight up empty. 1 hit and I die. This motherfucker, for no reason, after I start the animation, like, there's no way for me to dodge this. There's no way for me to like escape anything. He just randomly grabs on his back where I am at, and then just fucking yeets Leon as I'm about to start spamming X to slice his thing. But like, there's no dodge option. It just happened. Yeah. And people in the chat were even like, what the fuck was that? That's never happened. So I got fucked over really bad in that fight. But it's been really fun, and I've been really liking it. Other than that, Back Air Baseball has been a stream as well. I did just find a thing that got added called crowd control. It is pretty much so you can use bits or just straight up real money and spend it on their thing. And it is a program that you download, and there's a ton of games. I actually like to show you as well, because pretty much people can donate bits or real money to make things happen in your video game.
That's dope.
So
that's funny.
Back Air Baseball, you launch it in there, and you can spend, I don't know the exact amounts. Also, you don't have to spend money if you do catch it live. Don't feel like you have to, but whatever. If you want to fuck me over, you can't. You can literally just be like, forced bunt. You have to bunt at this bat. And then it will not let me click anything else but bunting.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of other things. There's one where it's like it makes all your fielders like this big on the screen. So like little baby fielders. So if you go to catch a ball, you're not going to catch it because the circle's so big and you can't find your spot, etc. Options. It's good. It's a fun time. There's a bunch of retro games on there as well, and you can get the ROMs for them through the app as well. So it's like there's a Donkey Kong 64 one. Let's just put it that way. Don't tell me that. Yeah, there's so many options.
That will completely change how I stream.
Here's the thing. It's all dependent on what the audience wants to donate as well. You can also use channel points. Like the thing
can you do it without people, like, if we didn't want people to spend money, could they just make you do shit?
In theory, so when you watch a Twitch channel, you get a thing called channel points, which is just like a whatever point. Here you go.
Yeah.
Fake money, pretty much. You can use channel points, but you can only use like the redeem option for like the crowd control coins 3 times for each option. So it's like use 1,000 of these points from Twitch, which you get really quickly, to get 100 coins in crowd control. You can do that 3 times, and then you can do the 50 version 3 times, and then the 1, etc. But like once it's done for the day, you have to wait till the next day to get more coins if you want to use channel points, which kind of sucks, but here we are. It's a way to monetize, to be fair, but at the same time, it's up to the audience if they want to spend the money.
I got you.
But it's cool. It's a fun time. I'll show you it next time we're on Discord together, because I'll just launch it and just scroll through all the games because they're just all there. And they're like, it was cool as shit to me because I was like looking through it on stream, and the way you do it is you open the program and then you launch the game, and it'll automatically recognize that the game is launched, relaunch it, so that the crowd control app has control of it and like the files. That's how it'll change your game and shit.
I see what you're saying.
So fucking cool. And I went into the Donkey Kong 64 one just for shits and giggles. And on the right side of the screen, before it's like launch the game, it's like, here's a ROM installer. Here's the thing that you run the ROM on. I can't remember what it's called. Here's your emulator. Here's your ROM, and launch it here once you have it downloaded. And I was just like, this is fucking straightforward. This is great. This is fun. So that'll be a thing at some point. Other than those two, Overwatch 2 Classic just came out, which is so fucking stupid.
What is Overwatch 2 Classic? Is that just Overwatch 1?
Yes. But it's not even just Overwatch 1. It's Overwatch 1 from the very, 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 very beginning. Like when you took the disc out of the case that I still have, that Overwatch. No skins. You can do any character that you want. There's no role queue. So you could exclusively be Reinhardt, your entire team. Yeah. If you want to. But there's 6 players again. That's the big deal, is there's 6 players.
I remember you being mad at that initially.
Yeah, I'm still mad that they switched it to 5. 6 is the correct number, and that's how much it should be, in my opinion. But the thing that sucks, and like we were kind of joking about it because we were all playing it on Discord together, like it feels like Blizzard released this to be like, because all the fans are like, Overwatch 2 sucks. Yeah. We want Overwatch 1 back. It feels like them being like, really? This is what you want back? You want this shit back? This garbage?
They're doing it out of spite.
Yeah, out of spite. But I'm like, this is not what we meant. We meant the game in which there were loot boxes, no microtransactions, and you constantly updated it to make sure that there was balance between the heroes and it didn't feel like one person was overpowered and one person wasn't. Yeah. You just gave us the base game from the disc where nothing was balanced, people's abilities were all over the place and changed now. Right. And like, I don't get it. Like, I don't why? Get it either. But here's the thing.
Why would that be the move?
It's not the move. It's honestly, in my opinion, it's a way for them to gauge interest of whether or not they should just fully go back to that. I think that they're going to get a lot more hate because it's not as fun, because it's broken as fuck with a lot of things you can do. But I don't know. I just feel like the 6v6 should have been a thing that they kept. Besides that, Slay the Spire, I've been playing that off and on a little bit. Mm-hmm. I still can't slay the Spire after the first time I did it. Literally, the only time I've ever slayed the Spire is live on stream. Once.
I mean, yes, you did it at the good time when people were watching it.
The crazy part, too, is I had an item called the Snecko Eye, which is a boss that you fight. Mm-hmm. And that item, if you have it, makes every single card in your deck be a random cost every single turn. So it will never be the same cost twice. It could be 0 energy. It could be 5 energy. It could be 3 energy. Like, it's just like, fuck you. Random bullshit. And that's the one that I slayed the Spire on.
Of course.
But anyway, I also have been playing a game called Citizen Sleeper. Mm-hmm. I got gifted it from Uniguff because in Resident Evil 4, they told me that you could defuse the trip mines by knifing the string. And
they fucked you up.
They fucked me up.
They did.
I got exploded. I think it's in the Resident Evil 4 video. Yeah. I have it edited a little bit better in the video, more so because it also captures right before that happened, where she specifically reminded me to heal so that I would be at a full enough health so that when it happened, I didn't die. So I healed, used my only healing, cut the thing, exploded, got back to low health again, and I was just there. And then she was like, load the save. And I'm like, no, fuck you. If we die, it's your fault.
Well done. Well done. That's what you should have did.
And now here's the thing. It was funny, and I didn't take it personally at all because it was a good time. But as an apology, she gifted me Citizen Sleeper.
I did see that. That was hilarious.
So Citizen Sleeper is kind of like a visual novel along the lines of like Disco Elysium, similar. A lot of reading, but it's really good. Like, I tried playing Disco Elysium and I couldn't get invested because I just didn't care about what was happening. Mm-hmm. This, like the artwork, the music, like the way that the writing is, like it's really good. And I'm like, oh, okay, I fuck with this. I fuck with this. And ironically, it's a cyberpunk theme, so of course I do. But it's good and I appreciate it. Thank you for the gift. Other than that, content warning. Been playing that with friends. I actually just got an invite to play it right now. Can't do that. It is the you make videos for SpookTube, and there's like scary stuff that happens, and you like record it on a camera. It's kind of like Lethal Company, but different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna see it and be like, oh,
we should play content warning. You and I would have a good time playing that because all you do is just make YouTube videos together with scary things happening around you. Why haven't we played fucking content warning for Bitchmate?
We still can.
This is such okay, that's coming soon, motherfuckers. Astrobot, beat that. Nice. Platinumed it. Yeah. Still got to get one trophy from the speedrun level.
Astrobot was so good.
Baldur's Gate 3 for about 20 minutes, and then I put it down. Fortnite OG season just came out.
I saw that being pushed.
I'm not a huge fan of it, if I'm being honest, because I don't really like a lot of the OG guns, and the movement kind of sucks. But Snoop Dogg's in it, and Ice Spice just got added today.
Ice Spice is in it?
Ice Spice is in the game. She has a huge blow-up doll of herself on her location on the map, because she has her own location. So just like Snoop does, and Eminem.
Fortnite has become I would have never thought. I remember when they first showed the initial world premiere trailer for that game.
Yeah.
Because it was during an award show that we were streaming.
Shit.
And it was two guys on a stage, like, doing their own play-by-play of what they were doing while playing the game. And everybody's like, what the fuck is this?
And then I was memed on. Because then Christmas that year, I got a V-Bucks card. And it's been different all the ways. And now every year I actually just buy V-Bucks. Here we are. We live in a fucking hellish future. I've also been playing Battlefield 2048.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
really?
Randomly, out of nowhere. I saw Ryan was playing it because it's free on PlayStation. And I was just like doing nothing one day. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll download this shit real quick. Hopped in his lobby. He didn't notice I was there. He stopped playing. The next day, I did the same thing again. And the funny thing about that game is when you get killed, you get knocked first. So you're kind of like crawling around Fortnite style. And you can get revived. So I go up to this motherfucker and I'm just sprinting across the map. Like fucking open desert. Yeah. And I see him all the way over there. And I'm like, oh, he's dead. Sprint over, start reviving him. I get a Discord. Are you in fucking Battlefield right now? I'm like, yes, sir, I am. I was yesterday too. You didn't see me. But either way, I've been playing with Ryan. It's been fun. I'm not good at it. I'm.
Didn't we play that when the beta dropped?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I remember us playing that and being like, this map is way too big. What is happening?
Dude, literally, I don't understand what's happening the entire time. And 90% of the time I'm frustrated while I'm playing it because I'm not used to playing a shooter on a controller anymore. Like the only one that I play practically is Fortnite, and that's third person, so it's different. Yeah. But first person shooters is exclusively mouse and keyboard for me now, and I am having a bad time. I can't hit a snipe for my life. I'm using marksman rifle exclusively, and I still can't hit a shot. But it's bad.
I remember us playing it. That's so crazy.
It's fun though. If you want to download it, you should download it since you got time now. I got 2 left. One of them is random, and the other one is Call of Duty Black Ops.
All right.
I got Xbox Game Pass.
Now, let's get this is the main event combo we've been. I've been waiting.
You're never gonna guess the second game that I'm talking about. Now, I'm gonna give you the year it's from, and then you can think about games from that year. And I want to see if you can guess it. 2001. Now I'll talk about Black Ops.
Go ahead.
It's good.
Yes, but
And
all I've been hearing is it's good.
I hate that it's good.
I'm gonna download it. I haven't downloaded it. I'll
Yeah.
get it on my Xbox and play it.
My biggest thing with the game so far is that, first of all, the Omni movement, not that big of a deal. It's really, you don't use it as much as you think you're going to use it.
Yeah.
And like, while it is a good movement like situation to have, it's whatever. I did see people complaining recently about, so there's regular sprinting and then there's tac sprinting, like tactical, where like you can double tap your run and you kind of like put your gun up so that you're doing this so you're faster.
Yeah.
And people are saying like it doesn't make sense that there's 3 movements in the game, which is stupid to me. Like it makes complete sense that there's 3 movements. It's just you got to decide when to use what, you know? Like it's not like people are saying that they should take out tactical sprint entirely, which is weird to me. Like it's just a way to go faster. Like just don't use it.
Right.
You know, just like don't press the button one extra time and you're fine. You're good. Or unbind it if you don't want to fucking use it. Other people will still use it and you can use that to your advantage, you know? But whatever. I digress.
It's like a non-problem.
Exactly. Like it's just another option for people to have. And now people are like, we only want the 2. Like, fuck off. We already had that with America and that went to hell already. So Black Ops 6, or is it 6?
Yes.
It is 6. Jesus Christ. Black Ops 6 is fun. I've been playing mainly exclusively on Nuketown at the moment because I'm not a huge fan of the maps that were in the base game. They did just add a bunch of maps because season 1 started. So I got to check them out still. They also had a gunfight pip extra, so keep an eye out for that invite. But yeah, man, it's fine. I played the campaign first just because I was like, I want to see if this is good compared to Modern Warfare 3's, which I hated. Like I was super vocal about how much I hated that because it was just like, it was almost like they took a chunk of a Warzone map for that and they were like, okay, this square, this is the mission for the campaign. You have a couple side quests in this area, but go do the main mission, go. No like tracks, you know? Yeah. And to me, Call of Duty campaigns are on tracks. Like the entire time.
Typically,
like, yeah. And that's what I like about them because it's like a condensed story. This is where you need to go point A to point B. Maybe a spot over here, you get a little detour C if you go that way, whatever. I don't care. It was really good. And I was having a blast until it got fucky. There's this one level where your main character, I don't know what the name of him is because I just don't remember. He tries to make like this jump over like an elevator shaft or something, and he falls into like this pit. And when you wake up, there's like this smoke all around you. Like, I don't know if it's smoke's the right term, like gas more so. And it's like a hallucinogenic or some shit. And at first I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, this is weird. This is a weird mission because I've been playing missions that are like entirely stealth prior to this. Like you can go full stealth in some missions, which is sick. Nice. And it was really fucking fun. I had a great time on those. And I go up to this door and it's locked. And behind me, I hear a bunch of shit fall. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I go back to investigate. And there's just like mannequins everywhere on the ground and an axe buried in the head of one. Oh, shit. And I'm like, are they about to do some bullshit right now? Some bullshit? And it was a fucking bullshit jump scare level. The entire level like went into like zombies lore into the main campaign, which was super weird for me because the entire time the mission that's happening, like you can still hear the 2 teammates in your earpiece randomly at certain points in the mission. But the entire time, like you're in this like bottom basement area where you have to complete 3 different tasks and shit. And there's like lore going on where you were at this facility back in the day. You were here back when you were young and you broke out. Also, there's zombies now for some reason. Now there's mannequins in there. So like zombies start showing up and you're like, what the fuck? And then you go to this one room where there's like 3 separate rooms inside of it. And all of them are filled with mannequins. And you need to get like a manila folder from each of the rooms and deliver it to like one of those like wall slots in an office where the boss is behind the glass like, I need the reports. And every time you grab a report, some creepy shit happens. So the first time, all the mannequins just turn to you immediately when you grab it and you put it in. Then the second one, once you turn away, they start following you.
Oh, I knew you were having a ball with this shit.
And the worst part is they start following you when you're not looking. And then you turn back and they're at the end of their animation stopping. So you see it. And you can kill
Just
them.
fucks with your head.
Yeah, but I was like, I am not moving in a fucking inch until every one of these mannequins is dead on the floor in this JC Penney that I am in right now.
Right.
And then the third one, it's just like so many of them. And then you finally deliver the last thing. He breaks through the glass, boss fight. Random boss fight.
You're selling me. Like, I'm really about to download this game.
Well, like, here, it's bad. This is bad. Don't like this. It's so dumb.
Don't like this.
I'm sorry. It's so dumb. Like, it just didn't make sense. It came out of nowhere. But the last boss fight is wild because it's a boss from Modern Warfare 3 Zombies called a Mimic. I don't know if it's probably was in a previous Zombies as well. I'm not well versed in the Zombies lore. But it's like this giant, like, you remember from Men in Black 1, the guy at the very beginning with his head on a stick? Like in they're like the illegal immigrants in the back of the truck, and he breaks out. Imagine that guy running at you. That scene before he gets splattered. Yeah, that's what the monster in Zombies is. It just runs at you, and if it catches you, it grabs you and like pulls you into its maw with like sharp teeth and shit. It's scary. But the crazy part about it is like,
this sounds great.
You walk into the room and it's just like this boardroom with like fucking rafters set up and shit. And then all you hear is like, just like metal guitar out of nowhere. Fucking like double bass bullshit and bass and the most metal music you've ever heard. And it just rees on top of this thing. It's like, and then starts chasing you. And you have to fight it in the room. And then since it's a mimic and it kind of works like the D&D mimic, after a certain point, it goes into its next phase where it hides.
In a little box thing? How does it hide? It just hides in the room you're in?
Like a mimic in D&D, how it could be like a box, it can be anything. So you have to like use your hearing in this silent room to hear like the growling of the monster. And you have to go around this office space until you find what item it is, shoot it once, and then it jump scares out at you. And you had to do that 3 times.
So you have to purposely get scared 3 times. I know you were just like, fuck this.
I did not want to do it. You want to hear how I played it?
How? You would shoot something and turn away or something?
Right screen, the game, me playing it. Left screen, playthrough. About 30 seconds ahead of where I'm at in the game. Just so I could see the shit happening ahead of time. I'm not getting fucking scared. Fuck these people. I was like, I'll watch a playthrough and I'll get through this bullshit. Because it was so frustrating. Because I was like, how do you go from the coolest Call of Duty stealth missions? Like, I'm like taking people out with a silenced pistol, like snapping people's necks and shit. I feel cool
because they knew they had to switch that shit up. They had to throw like a wild card in there.
To be fair, I also feel like other people are complaining about the same thing as well, saying it's bad. So hopefully I'm not the only one there. But the last game that I played, and you're never gonna guess this. From 2001, PlayStation Classic game for the PS1. Classics catalog. I don't know.
PS1 Classic or PS2 Classic?
I think it's PS2. I could be wrong. Let me double check it. It is. We're gonna play a guessing game. I'm gonna give you hints about it until you can guess what it is, because I'm sure that you know the game. It is a action adventure game developed and published by Sony Computer Entertainment for the PlayStation 2.
Jack and Dexter.
No. It was one that I'm just gonna say it. Eco.
I wouldn't have got that. Okay, I remember that game.
I started playing it because I looked at the cover art and I was like, that looks interesting. Mm-hmm. So I played it up until the point where you find. Have you played it before or ever?
That's another game where I played it before. Could I tell you anything from it? I don't fucking remember.
I got up to the point where you find the companion.
Yeah.
So like when you can like finally start dragging them behind you, that's where I got to. I was like, this is charming. I like this, so I'm gonna play that through fully because I think it looks good. So Eco.
I remember
from 2001.
I think I rented that game.
It looks like the cover art is gorgeous. Yeah. Like I was like, okay, it's one of those moments where I was like, book cover, yeah, I'm gonna buy that book. So I'm really hoping that the contents inside are good and not just like bad.
How old were you in 2001?
6.
Wow. I was 13. No. Yeah, wait. 2001 was 20 years ago. I'm at that age now where I'm just like, I'm this old. Minus like, so wait. In 96, I was 10. 97, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, wait, I was 16. No, 15. I am old.
But yeah, I played Eco. It's fun. It's a good time so far. I like the vibe of it. It's pretty cool. I didn't expect to play it, but I was just like kind of looking in the PlayStation catalog. So I was like, I have this version of PlayStation Plus that gives me this, and I've not touched anything here.
Yeah.
It feels like a waste of money because it is. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking play some games. We're gonna play some classics. So
I ain't mad at that one bit. You know, I ain't mad at no classics.
hell yeah. What have you been playing?
Oh
this week?
man. Well, with you, I did the Astrobot thing.
Mm-hmm. What was your favorite boss
in Astro?
Between the main four, I guess. Unless you want to do.
I like the what was it? The water level boss. What was it? Was it a crab? Was it a crab? You know what I'm talking about? It's been a while since I fought this boss, but it was like you're on
maybe
a beach and it's like this crab that's trying to, and you end up beating the crab. That was a fun fight.
I think I remember that one. The last level fucked me over the most. The championship one, like the final.
Yeah.
I did that for 2 days straight and I couldn't beat it.
I love how hard those little like secret levels are.
Dude, the squares and the
oh my
fuck
god,
those levels.
They
dude.
make you want to break something.
I almost threw my controller.
I forgot
one
what
of the
hardest
triangle
one was.
ones.
I think triangle.
Dude,
that's
it was
the
like
green
triangle
one, right?
3 or something.
That's like the green.
Yeah.
Yo, triangle. That was the one I was like, no, this sucks.
Yeah,
this
there was one that I can't even remember. I have PTSD. I've repressed it. I don't even remember what the fucking like objective was, but I was just getting so mad the whole time, and then I finally beat it, and I was like, "Here's the relief that I needed. Cool. Let me move on to the next triangle." It was the easiest fucking thing I've ever done in my life, and I was so mad. I was like, "You motherfucker! You don't know how to make a game."
They go from like 0 to 1,000 and back to 0. Like
it's crazy. And then sometimes the traffic cone ones would also do that. The little traffic, you would run into the asteroid and be like, "Here, look at me, a little level over here." Those fucking suck too.
Yeah.
But they're good. That's the thing. That's
the give and go with that game. It's just like, this is so well done, but it's infuriating me.
There were multiple times where I was just like really pissed. I'm like, that wasn't my fault, and I knew it was. I'm blaming the game the whole time, but it was me. I suck. I'm not a platformer. I know this. I should stick to shooting things.
No, but I get those. I understand.
Yeah.
So yeah, Astrobot. I'm playing through Zelda still, Echoes of Wisdom. Mm-hmm. I'm at the end. Like, I'm at that point that you get to in adventure RPGs where like, hey, let's go into the last thing. It's like, but no, if you go past this point, you can't go back. Mm-hmm. So now the fucking retro gamer in me is like, well, I can't go past this point and not do everything. Yeah. So now I'm doing the whole literally like platinuming this game.
All right.
Because like, you know how if you remember the trailer, Link falls into some other world and you're Zelda and now you're trying to save Link. Like the reverse of how Zelda is. I got to the point where I saved Link.
Oh, okay.
I found Link. I saved Link. And now Link is standing there. And if you talk to him, it's like you two are going to join forces to finish out what you set out to do, defeat the big bad or whatever. Mm-hmm. So Link's standing there, and if you talk to him, you go into the final thing. So right now I'm just leaving Link just standing there, and I'm going to do other shit.
One moment while I go put a table down somewhere else.
Yeah, let me go stack these beds up and climb up this mountain.
Goddamn.
So I'm in the process of 100%ing that.
Okay.
But I'm at the end.
Do you think you'd replay that game, like top to bottom? Or is this like a once you're done type game?
Well, nowadays, once I'm done anything,
yeah, well,
I'm
now,
done.
yeah.
But
like, would you want to play this again? Like Breath of the Wild, I know you'd want to start a new playthrough up any day of the week. You would just do that casually, probably, because it's one of those
I still have not beaten the sequel to
True,
that.
but you know what I mean.
Yes, I know what you mean.
While you do not have the time.
No, it's not that I don't have the time. Like, that game, because I've been playing this Zelda game, even though I've been kind of in my head. Like, and when I'm finally like, all right, I'm done, I'll just turn that on and play.
Gotcha.
That's been like my book in bed kind of thing. Like, I'm just up, like laying on my pillow, just like playing through
my stories.
Yeah, exactly. So would I go back and play it again? I'm not mad at it. It's one of those games where like the premise initially, because I even said it in the Discord when we were watching the direct where they premiered it. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy like not like I don't have a sword, like I'm not Link, but because it makes you feel like it'll be an undertaking. I always have to like pick out an item to defeat an enemy. Like I can't just attack this thing and it's gone. They somehow that system works so well to bring an item out to have it like an enemy to attack an enemy for you. It can be done so easily. They map it to like the D-pad. So at any point you can hold the D-pad and then go through all the I forgot what they call them, like echoes. Obviously stupid. They go through all the echoes that you've gotten throughout your time. It's just a long scrolling list of them. You could just send them out to like attack things for you. So it's not like a tedious thing. You're not going into pressing start, going into a menu, picking. It's not like that. You can just, it's like going quick into your pocket to throw things out.
Kind of like how Breath of the Wild does with like their arrow selection and shit. And like
this
weapons.
Game is classic Zelda meets Breath of the Wild.
That's cool.
Because a lot of the mechanics are taken right from Breath of the Wild, but you're using them
in a classic setting.
Which is that. It again, something on paper was like, well, how the fuck would that work in this? But it works because a lot of the assets are taken from Breath of the Wild and put in this.
Oh, okay.
So all like the menu art, like the way you're going through these like the arrow thing, that's what it looks like when you're picking the echo. It's the same thing.
I like that. I like that they not necessarily changed it up, but kind of at the same time.
They brought old and new together to work in tandem.
That's good. I like that.
So it's fun. It's definitely fun. You get stronger as you go, obviously, RPG. So like at any given point, you can turn into an echo of Link. You're like this blue shaded version of Link. You're still Zelda, but you're using a sword and you have his arrows. You can get bombs and everything. That's but cool. The caveat with that is because if you could just do that at any time with no limits, you might as well just stay that.
Yeah.
There's a bar you have, a magic bar, and it like depletes like quick. So it's like use this at your own discretion, and you better like when you're using it, you better have something to do with it. Because like to refill that bar, you either have to find these little ruins that you have to look for throughout the game or these little like energy bits that you can find, kind of like how you find hearts in Zelda. But they come up very seldomly. So that you can't like cheese that and just be Link throughout the whole thing. So, but as you get stronger, as you grow levels, the bar, like as you get specific items, like they slow down the drain, you become stronger in that. Cool. You can stay in that form for longer as you go through. So it's a really dope give and take about like, all right, well, I have to be Zelda here. But being Zelda, you can do things that Link can't do. So if I need to climb up this thing, I can't be Link and throw out a bunch of items. Link is Link. He has a sword and a shield and he does in Breath of the Wild. In this game, he can't. But it's a really dope give and take. I really like what they did with it. I ended up enjoying it way more than I thought I would. Not that I didn't think I would, but it went above my expectations.
Hell yeah, I'm glad.
So that's a dope time. Like I said, I'm in the process of completing that 100%. I feel like I played something. Oh, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Oh yeah, I passed on it completely. So I'm literally, you're my only person that I've heard played it.
I purchased that. That game is fun as shit. I didn't expect it. I don't want to say that because the reason I bought it is I saw so many clips of it that I was just like, okay, I'm sold.
Yeah,
because I was on the fence with it.
I saw the Broly movie recently again, and it made me want to buy it, but I stayed strong. I was like, nope.
It's so fun. Like it probably is the best Dragon Ball fighting game. Period. Ever.
Okay.
Out of those games, out of the Budokai Tenkaichi games, because my favorite Dragon Ball, if we just want to go fighting game, is still Dragon Ball Fighters.
I think mine's Raging Blast 2.
Oh yeah, you did talk about
Yeah.
that. I never played that.
It's the only reason I like it so much is because they didn't do the thing where every single form of a character is a different character. Like you could actually progress.
Right.
Like you'd be like, oh, I'm Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3. And then like you could do it all in the same fight.
Yeah.
And it was in the omnidirectional like environment. So it was
Yeah.
like the best of both worlds, as opposed to I'm just God all the time. Look at me, I'm Goku God.
Goku God. You can kind of do that in this.
Okay.
When you start, obviously you have Goku. You can unlock. You do the tournaments and get money. You can go and unlock characters or whatever. But as you go through the story, you can change the main story because the criticism we gave was, I'm tired of doing the Saiyan saga and the Frieza saga and the Cell saga and the Boost, like the same story a million times. You can change the story. You do specific things, or you end a fight a certain way. It changes the story completely. You can end up going Super Saiyan during the Saiyan saga where you first meet Vegeta.
Really?
Like if you, I forgot what what's the
Trigger.
word? Yeah, what the triggers are. I think you have to. When in the original Raditz fight, you have to take. I thought if I ignored Piccolo saying, "Hey, let's team up against him," like they do in the story, I thought if I ignored that and went myself, I could somehow trigger it, but that wasn't how you do it. You have to take up Piccolo's offer to help you. You have to defeat Raditz in a certain amount of time, so that when Piccolo does a special beam, Goku dodges it. He doesn't get hit with it. So it only hits Raditz. So Goku doesn't die. And if Goku doesn't die, that means he has more time to train on Earth with everybody. So by the time you get to have to fight Nappa and Vegeta, if you defeat Nappa in a specific amount of time, Vegeta goes Great Ape, and Goku goes Super Saiyan. Because who dies? I think it triggers Vegeta killing like Chaozu or something, a different character. And
Chaozu, how did he die again? In the main, he
grabs on to something, yeah, and explodes. He tries to kill him,
but he doesn't do any damage, right?
Yeah,
to 16.
he doesn't. Yeah,
yeah. I always thought that was sad because there was no reason to kill Chaozu like that. Like Yamcha didn't need the stress, man. He's already fucking the worst.
But you do all under these conditions, Goku goes Super Saiyan at that fight.
That's pretty sick.
So, and there's a whole bunch of different instances where you can do that throughout the game. I haven't gotten that far because I ended up playing. That's another game I got to get to. Sonic Shadow Generations. So, there's a lot of instances of that. But I've been playing a lot of the tournament modes, just getting a feel for it. I felt like every time I picked it up, I had to do that because while the game is great, the controls are so dense. Like there's so many moves you can do, and there's a lot of mechanics. It's a very high mechanic game, so mechanically dense game.
Do you think this is going to be like a fighting game that people play at like tournaments and shit? Or
they already have started setting up tournaments for it. Yeah. But once you get a rhythm down, that game is so much fun. It's so fast paced. So
you're selling me on it.
It's so fast paced, so good, so like and especially if you're a Dragon Ball fan, because
tell me it's bad. Do me a favor.
I can't because the presentation is so well done. Like I'll give it that. Presentation wise, greatest Dragon Ball Z game ever. Just off presentation. The main menus, when you scroll through the menu, like if you do like story mode or like tournament mode, it's just Goku going to different locations in the game. So you'll be like home, whatever, and you'll just see Chi-Chi and everything. And then you'll go to like tournament mode and you'll land and Gohan is there with Piccolo training and they're like, hey, what's up? And you can go into the tournament. It's so well presented. It presents so well. And then like the way you transform, that's why I said it's kind of best of both worlds because you can buy upgrades and new characters and become something different. But like if I just want to be base Goku, but I've unlocked Super Saiyan 2, 3, 4.
4 is in the game?
Yeah, UI, like all that shit. 3, like you can be in a fight and I forgot what the button. I think it's like a D-pad button. You hold like a D-pad button and press like triangle or square. Like square will be Super Saiyan 1 and triangle will be 2, circle will be 3. So like I could be in the middle of a fight, but if you have enough energy charged up and saved and you get to a certain level, like your meter gets to a certain level, I could just like push him off and be like, I go Super Saiyan 2 and just start. And that's when you become a different Super Saiyan, you get an entirely new moveset. So now you're even more powerful with this entirely new moveset. It's so much fun.
I just added it to cart.
It's fun as shit.
Well, I'll be playing that when I get home. It's downloading my PS5 as we speak.
Also, never beat Grade 8 Vegeta.
Still?
Well, to be fair, only beat my hand doing this. I'm doing this again. So, to be fair, only still haven't done it because I was playing other things.
Oh yeah, for sure. Shadow came out, so you had to.
Yeah, so I jumped to that. But in the meantime, I was just doing like just getting money up and buying upgrades for my character because I was like, this Grade 8 Vegeta is fucking me up.
Yeah.
I got my homie Wayne to buy Grammatics. Remember him? So I got him to buy. I was telling him about it, and of course I was telling him how he was beating my ass. And then 3 days later, after he buys it, he sends me a video of him beating Grade 8 Vegeta, and I wanted to go to his house and strangle him. I was like, fuck you. I sat in that basement for hours trying to beat that shit. But he was loving it. He's like, yo, I'm addicted, man. It's so good. So
that might be the game I'm playing. I might have to pass up on Eco and just go straight back to Sparking Zero.
It's so much fun. It's just fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's a game that you don't have to think too hard about. Obviously, like I said, it's very mechanically dense, but like even when you're losing,
it feels good.
It's just fun. It's like I just want to get back in here and just fly around.
It just looks cool getting your ass kicked.
Yeah.
Wow, man, it's so cool. It's like
it's one of those games where when you lose, it's just like, no, fuck that. I can beat that shit.
Gotcha. Have you tried any of the player created stories yet, or no? Isn't that like a thing?
You can kind of create story. I haven't done that though. What else? So yeah, I hopped off of that game because Sonic Shadow Generations came out.
Okay.
I played through the Shadow story. I beat the Shadow story.
Did you play as Keanu?
I didn't. I played through the Shadow story, beat that, and the Sonic story, I was just like, I've done that so many times. I beat the Sonic story when it came out on 360. I beat it again when they refreshed it for Xbox One. And then Trenton, that's when he was getting older. He got into Sonic and stuff. So I played it through with him. So I was not in a rush for a fourth time to beat Sonic Generations. Presentation, amazing. They've done a very good job at up-resing this game and creating a whole new story with Shadow that could have been its own standalone thing. It's very, very, very good. Well, and I would hope so because they just remade one of the best Sonic games, 3D Sonic games, which are Sonic Generations. And I
don't think I've ever played a 3D Sonic in my life. It's always been 2D.
I mean, for my opinion, 2D are the better Sonic games.
For sure. Classic.
Which I feel like now I have a controversial opinion. These games, I mean, 3D Sonic already gets shitted on a lot. I think they need to change the formula
entirely
for 3D Sonic. Not like I said, I liked this game. Generations is great. I like Generations, but going from once Sonic had like the boost play, like Sonic, fuck was that game? Unleashed. It's on a 360 game, 360 PC, PS3 era game, where he was Sonic and the Werehog Sonic, the werewolf Sonic. But that's where like the boost game mechanic kind of came from. The Sonic levels in that game are fantastic. Like I loved that game. That was a great game. So it went from that to Sonic Generations to Sonic Forces to Sonic. What's this last open world one that just came out? Frontiers.
With the metal music and the boss fights and shit.
Oh yeah, that was a funny ass stream. I wish I still had clips from that.
Yeah.
That
I
would
mean,
be
it's
some
still
fun
on
shit.
YouTube.
True.
All of them are. All streams exist permanently on YouTube, but Twitch they disappear for some reason.
To now back to Generations with the Shadow story. Graphically, it's beautiful. It looks great. Looks great. Story is good. I mean, it's the Shadow story, but it's presented well. It's definitely a step up from the original Sonic Generations. Shadow, they're doing shit in the Shadow story that is like bounds ahead of the Sonic story. I enjoyed it, but it's like those are kind of games where it's just like once I beat it, I was just like, all right, good. Like I'm done with this.
Now it's done.
I don't need to like play this again.
Yeah.
And which leads me back to I think it's time to change this. Because yes, you got the boost mechanic where you hold it, he just runs through everything, and that's cool. I think that's cool. I think they found a way to make 3D Sonic work because it's essentially like a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, you're not really playing; you're kind of just watching. I feel like,
but there are moments where yes, you have to play. You have to know what you're doing. You have to do the homing attacks and get to one thing to another. But essentially, it's boosting, rail grinding, homing attacks to little zip pads you can run on and it'll take them through things. But yeah, a lot of it is like you're doing that to get him to the point where it starts controlling itself and you're watching it do cool shit, which is cool. And then you're fighting a boss. That's one thing I can kind of say. And CLD can back me up on this. The bosses were like nothing. Like they were too easy. It was like, they're not even trying to make this hard.
I feel that. Yeah.
Like even the last boss, there were stages, straight up like regular stages that were way harder than the last boss of the game.
Well, don't you have to like? I feel like Sonic boss fights are just like you hit the dude 3 times on the window, and
they've gotten better with it. It's not that anymore.
Okay,
it's way more.
That's all I'm familiar with. Is like hit Eggman on the window or on Eggman, and you win boss fight in 3 hits.
Yeah, they're past that. I'll give them that much.
Okay,
but it still wasn't challenging, and I don't need Sonic. It's Sonic, so it needs to be generally approachable. So I'm not asking for it to be Dark Souls or some shit like that. I'm not asking for it like to be any like Elden Ring hard, but like I don't know.
They gotta make it like neon white. It's got to be speedrun based, I think.
And this kind of is because you get ranks.
Yeah, but like I feel like obviously speedrunning is a thing with Sonic, like in Sonic games in general. But like having the game itself have like a global leaderboard and like being like a neon white type situation where maybe it's first person, maybe it's third person, but you're just like mini levels and trying to make your way through in the fastest way possible or the coolest way possible, shit like that. I'm surprised they've never done that. Like it's Sonic. You got to go fast, speedrun.
They have kind of stuff like that, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like more so like this is the target. Like it's not like big fucking levels anymore. Like they're still maybe there, but like
Sonic Frontiers had small levels like that. Yeah. I don't know. Like I think I would like it's to the point now where with Sonic Mania, the 2D Sonic Mania, the reason that worked so well is because the people who made that game were just fans of Sonic games who Sega brought on who were already making their own like custom Sonic games. And Sega did the cool thing was like, hey, we're not going to like get on you for like downloading these ROMs and making your own versions of our games. We're going to be like, hey, you want to make one for us? So they made a Sonic game made by Sonic fans for Sonic fans.
Yeah.
That's why Sonic Mania got the acclaim that it got. I think they need to let somebody do that for a 3D Sonic game.
Who though?
I don't know who. Like Team Asobi, who makes the Astrobot games, I would love to see their take on a Sonic game. Because the way they build stages
Yeah.
It's so multi-layered and exciting, and
I'm like imagining it. I'm like, this is pretty good.
and think about the how vibrant Astrobot looks and the colors of Sonic. They could really make something look great, and I think the way they made Astrobot as a platformer would lend itself well to that world.
Oh yeah, for sure. Honestly, you could just reskin Astrobot and it would kind of work as a Sonic game if you think about it.
Yeah, they got the
Just change
speedrun
out some of
shit.
the
Yeah.
abilities and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's a Sonic game.
Yeah, I think, but like, I would even love, like, they'll never do it, but I would love for Sega to let Nintendo make a Sonic game.
That's never gonna happen.
It's never going to happen.
What if they made Sonic RPG?
They tried that and it was
They did?
terrible. There's a Sonic RPG on Nintendo DS.
Oh, really?
It was bad. I mean, not to say that somebody couldn't make a better one.
Paper Sonic. Cardboard Sonic.
But then you leave out, like, the reason it didn't work is because Sonic's an RPG for what? Like, his whole thing is moving fast and action, and like,
yeah,
just that would slow him. It would be like, well, these could be any characters now.
that's true. Yeah, I mean, you're doing fast moves though. The moves that you choose are fast when you're attacking your enemies.
You know what? When you're at your right.
It could. Here's the thing. It could work, but honestly, just make it a Tails game as of that point, and then just have Sonic maybe show up as like a buddy or something for Tails.
Something like that.
That'd be cool.
But I
Give
think
us a Knuckles beat 'em up.
that'd be pretty
3D
cool.
Knuckles beat 'em up.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I don't know. I just think they need to kind of go back and like, all right, we've done this style of Sonic game since the 360 PS3 era.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's kind of time, or easy, remake, like, not like a refresh, not like an enhanced version. No, remake like the original Sonic Adventure games.
Mm-hmm.
And just add some modern shit to them, but like change it completely. Like kind of how Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different game. It's the story you remember, but it's a completely different game.
That'd be pretty sick, honestly.
I think they need to do something like that. Go back to that because that's before it was all quick time events and boost mechanics. It was like, it would just straight up run, jump, platforming, story, like a hub world. I think they need to do something like that. I don't know. I think it's time. I enjoyed Frontiers. I enjoyed Sonic Shadow Generations. But honestly, even as I'm playing through the Shadow, I'm just like, this is just feels like more of the same.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's great. But it's not leaving me like, I don't, like, if I never play it again, I'm not mad, but I'm not shitting on it either. It was great, but I've done this over and over and over.
I feel like you're an exception though when it comes to that Sonic.
I know, and I'm old, so it's like I'm not like
You're
the
like-
kids playing it now.
You're like a Sonic fan, like a straight up person who's played every game. Like, so no offense to Sonic as a franchise, but it makes sense why all of the games are very similar, I guess. At least when it comes to like 2D, with my knowledge, I felt like I get a new Sonic game, I'm like, oh, this is the same game. Even though it's not, it feels like the same game, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I get it, it's fun, it's a good time, but I don't know. Sonic's never been for me, sadly.
There's been people who have made Sonic-esque indie games, 3D ones too. And it's just like, this should be Sonic. This should be how this works. But it's not. But you can see where the influence came from.
Yeah.
So get people like that. Oh, you're just like, I don't know. I mean, it's sold amazingly. Like they're touting how like the sales of this Sonic and Shadow game, and it's crazy.
When does the movie come out? Again?
December, right before Christmas, like December 20th or something.
I'm surprised they didn't release it closer to the movie.
Mm.
Because it's just, no offense, it's just a remake. You know, it's like, why not drop it at the same time as the movie to increase hype to the maximum?
I mean, I guess it ain't going nowhere because it'll easily be on kids' Christmas lists
for
or
sure.
whatever.
But will they get the Keanu DLC?
I mean, they could.
I don't know. I didn't know if it was a pre-order bonus.
I forgot what that is. I don't know. Again, I had
you
no
didn't even
need to
use
go
it.
back. I didn't. I was just like, I'm good. I'm done.
That's the new thing in the game, and you're like, I don't need it.
I'm finished. Eventually I'll play through Sonic Story again. But as of now, I'm good.
They just got to give you the Sparking Zero version of Sonic where you could change the story and shit.
Yeah, something. I don't know. But you make a good point. I've been playing Sonic since 1991. So it's to the point now where, like, I doubt they're marketing it directly at this almost 40-year-old man. Like, we gotta make it for the OG.
They definitely there's people that are at the studio for sure. I mean, there's ironically, I just found on TikTok this kid and like he gets flamed in the comments, but he's like a huge Sonic, like he's like that Sonic fan. You know what I mean? Like he wears like the Sonic shoes every day type shit. But like. Right. Like he's genuinely happy though, and like you can like see it on his face, and like the comments are 50-50 of like this guy's so happy, that's fucking awesome for him, and then fucking nerd like the entire time. His name is also ironically Christopher King.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'll show you his page. He did like I don't know how to explain this. Like he's just having fun on TikTok being a Sonic fan. Mm-hmm. He did like this dramatic posing session where he was dressed in like a shadow inspired outfit, but he was on like a parking garage and like looking over a city and like hanging onto like a telephone pole and shit and like looking as badass as he can.
Fucking moody shadow poses. Yeah.
And like the whole time he's just got this big fucking smile on his face. He's just having a good time making the shit. Guy. And that's the thing. It's like it's the good for that. And then there's like, this is the problem with the world. Like people in the comment like, fuck man.
I know I'm not slowly, I don't want to say that, because gaming, the demographic is wide for gaming, but I'm also not like the teenager or the early 20-year-old that has all the time in the world that gaming culture, quote unquote, used to be pointed at.
Yeah.
Obviously now it's different. There's so many avenues and indies and everybody is catered to.
Yeah, mobile games.
Right. So for Sonic, it's like essentially that's a property that's geared towards kids.
Oh yeah.
So I'm also like, while I can be like old man on get off my lawn about that, I do also understand, especially having an 8-year-old who is a relatively, so to speak, new Sonic fan. I do enjoy seeing it through his lens now, because while to me, I'm just like, oh, they need to fix this and change it. For him, it's just like, this is great. Yeah. And then it's just like, well, now I just feel like an old dickhead. Like, what the fuck? Like, you just got here. So for you, this is just like, what do you mean? Like,
God,
that's all he knows. Like, not even, because he's played some of the old ones and he's into that now. I feel the retro ones.
You gotta get him to show you the Sonic Roblox shit that people have been
sat down with him and
because that shit looks good.
It's very good. Like I've sat in with him and looked at that and played that with him. That's pretty cool what they're doing with that. And that's what I gotta respect. Like, salute to that, because they're keeping that alive. Sonic, I will say what anybody can say what they want about the games or whether they like them or dislike them or whatever. But Sonic is probably one of the strongest gaming properties that has lasted the test of time in a way that a lot hasn't.
Yeah, I agree. I also feel like he's a much more appealing character than people that are above him. No offense to Mario, but I don't understand the appeal of Mario, and I never have.
Mario's the everyman.
Well, it's just like, but like...
He's the video game mascot.
But like, he doesn't look cool.
But see, that was Sonic's whole marketing thing.
Well, that's because Sonic's cool. Sonic's cool as fuck. Yeah. He goes fast. He has shoes on and shit. And
he has an attitude.
Yeah. He catches rings instead of coins because he's cool.
That was his whole thing. They marketed him to be cooler than Mario.
For sure. But that's the thing. I feel like he's 100% cooler than Mario. And I just never have understood the hype around, like, not necessarily Mario as an idea or a character, just like the character design. I'm like, he's not that good of a design. It's just a guy with an M on his hat with a mustache and fucking overalls. It's not like he's a hedgehog that has cool sneakers.
Yeah, but he's like the Mickey Mouse of video games. He's the Mario is video games.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be changed. No. I really don't feel like it is because I can't think of any character in games who would be the new, like, when you think of video games, you think of this.
I would argue maybe Pikachu.
On you know what? That is a good one. I'll give you that.
But I feel like he's more for like the cards and like the anime than the video games. Even the video games are a very big part of Pokemon.
Yeah, and I just mean like a global scale.
Yeah,
the most
Marek.
like if you had to pick one mascot for video games,
It's Marek.
Yeah.
But he's just so boring. He's just in overalls.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's a Disney character that you think is way better than Mickey Mouse.
90% of them.
But that's the point.
Yeah, which
Mickey
is
Mouse
crazy.
Is he's the mascot. He is that.
He's the face character.
He's the face.
But like, here's the thing: like, you think of Marvel or DC, who do you think of first?
Spider-Man and Batman.
Okay, they're both cool as fuck. Am I wrong? They're both sick.
Yeah.
Mario, not sick.
But also think of
Sonic,
the time.
sick.
Think of the time Mario came out in, and how he was introduced.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think about Mario being an Italian plumber coming from Japan. If you think about it from like a zoomed out.
Yeah, I know. It's really weird.
It's
a real
really
cross of backgrounds. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Mario came out at a time where it was either him or Pac-Man. You had two options.
I forgot Pac-Man existed.
Before Mario, Pac-Man was the face of video games. Pac-Man had fucking songs on the radio.
Do you think he still technically is then? Maybe like if for like the current crowd?
No. I'm sure kids out there now, if you put Mario and Pac-Man in front of them,
Oh, yeah, they know Mario first.
yeah, they're gonna go with Mario 100%
Whatever
of the
happened to
time.
fucking Pac-Man, dude? They stopped making games for. I had a
No, they made like
PS2
remakes
game.
and stuff for Pac-Man.
Do you ever play the 3D ones that had like stories and shit?
Pac-Land and all that stuff?
Yeah, dude. I had like Mrs. Pac-Man, and she was thick. She was thick, man. There was a story, and they had like a family and shit, and you could choose the baby or whatever.
Yeah, I remember those.
Fucking insane.
Yeah, man, but I don't know.
That's what we played this week.
Wait, I
Oh.
wanted to bring this up because we never brought it up.
Okay.
And it hit me the other day, because not the other day, like after we recorded the last episode, I'm like, there is something else that we played and never talked about. And it finally hit me. The Plucky Squire.
Dude,
We both beat that game.
you're right.
We just never talked about it.
I forgot that game existed. Oh no, dude, it was so good.
It was.
It was fucking great.
It was good.
There's like nothing that I have to say about it where I'm like, I don't think there was a single bad moment in that game, which is crazy. It was just a solid from start to finish. I had a pleasant time. There was not a single moment where I was like, this is unbeatable or unbearable.
Mm-hmm.
And the story was fucking cute. I liked it. I liked the ending a lot. I thought the ending was very funny.
Yes. And it was
With the one character that shows up. Pretty cool. Hope that there's a sequel with that character.
Well, the way they angle the ending, and then I don't want to give it away, how they refresh the title, I guess.
Yeah.
You would assume
I hope so.
that they're going to do that. Yeah.
Plus, because like the cool thing about that is it can be a completely different game.
Yep.
Like but it's
The
same.
change in style of game that it does
Dude.
from moment, like when you straight up play Punch Out in that game.
Dude, I think did I live stream this?
You were playing it. You were streaming it.
Dude, I
at one
fucking
point.
live streamed that game. And I remember being like, is this fucking Punch Out? And then it was Punch Out. And then the rhythm game for Thrak. And then I forget what the game was for the wizard person.
It was it a her game was
hers?
fuck, what was it? Hers wasn't like the Tetris-esque game, was it? Where things are falling from, I don't remember now.
I don't know. My favorite though was the mouse, his mini game.
What was that? Oh, when you had to go through
The mazes where it was like all to jazz and it was like on beat and shit. Dude, it was so fun.
That was so good.
That was such a good level design too. Like there were multiple moments, like I think I failed only once through the entire run of the mouse levels. But like the moment I failed it, I was like, oh no, that's what it was just like the coolest shit. I was like, that's so smart and
One of those. It was one of.
Good
It is
game.
one of those games where it's just like if you fuck up, it's just like like
Yeah.
that eureka moment. There's a lot of those moments, and it was really, really, really dope.
I feel like I exclusively threw my sword once I figured out that I could do that.
Oh yeah, that was
Like I didn't even swing it after that. Like the most that I swung my sword after I found out I could throw it was when I was like, oh, I need to cut this word out of the ground, and that was it.
I did swing it sometimes because swinging it is stronger than throwing.
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah. So I would like the specific enemies or whatever the situation was. I would use it because I knew swinging my sword equals more damage than throwing my sword.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Plucky Squire was great.
Lucky Spire was
That's
great.
what we played this week.
Yeah. I
Hell
played a
yeah.
lot of shit. I played that. Sitting here going through them, I was like, oh yeah, I played that and that and that.
Yeah. Plus more to come next month once we get back into games. I mean, you're going to be streaming again soon at some
Yes.
point.
Yes,
so you'll
I
be
will.
having more things to talk about. Resident Evil remake soon. Were we in the middle of a game at some point? I don't think so. No.
Me and you?
Yeah.
Oh, we beat
Thought we-
Man of Madonna and that was
We beat Man of Medan. We technically are in the middle of RE8, but I don't want to play that game. So
that game made us fucking sick, which was
Yeah.
weird.
it's insane that made us sick, and I've been playing RE4 for like 4 or 5 days now, and I'm fine.
RE8, well, that's first of all, it's older.
Yeah, well, I was saying it in the chat when I was playing RE4. I'm like, I don't understand how you go from RE4, like whatever this game is, and then you go to 7, and it's so bad. Because like
Because they went back to the old
but like,
style, kind of.
but it wasn't RE4 style is great. Like the shooting it's a little bit clunky, but like compared
This
to
is
7,
why-
it's awful.
This is why RE4 is held as high as it is.
Yeah.
It's like the classic Resident Evil game.
I just don't know why
4
they
and 2
fucked
are
it
the
up.
classics.
They just fucked it up, man. That's all they did.
RE8, I wasn't mad at. It's just that for some reason, I think that was a example of a game being whatever effect they put on the camera or something. It was too good. It was just like, all right, like
I think the screen didn't help too, because we were also using the big screen with Trenton's hands on it.
ugh.
Nobody can see that, but it's
Yeah.
fine. Now, let's head on over to the news and see what was newsing it up this past month.
I think they had a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a long episode, folks.
To the studio.
To the studio.
Let's get to the news. Welcome to Save Before Quitting News. Welcome to the news studio. As you can see, this lovely, very expensive, high-tech studio.
Yeah.
Don't touch anything while you're
From
here.
Ohio.
What?
Our studio's in Ohio. They don't know this.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We fly specifically to Ohio every single time to record. There's a lot
For
of
a,
corn.
for a 30-minute segment.
Yeah,
But it's worth it for you guys.
that is true. You know what else was worth it? The news for the last month. We're going to take it top to bottom here. We got a nice, beautiful PowerPoint presentation put together by Ant over here.
I did.
By we got editor Chris. What do we have for you? Is a slideshow Ant?
Nah, I need a better name.
Slideshow
than that.
Ant sounds like Sideshow
No, I'm about
Bob.
to say I should be just call me Slideshow Bob.
Slideshow Bob over here. But yeah, if you want to see that and what we're looking at while we talk to you with our voices and thoughts, you can be a patron, which we already talked about earlier in the pod. So
We
yeah.
did. We did.
What do we got up first? Ant?
Up first, all this news is courtesy of Video Games Chronicle,
Thank you,
who does a
Chronicle.
great job chronicling the news. It's in the name. That's what the C stands for. Our first news story goes to Astrobot. It looks like Astrobot will be getting even more DLC cameos. Although the final free DLC speedrun levels arrived today, an update to the game's credits has added more IP not yet featured. Damn, that was a fun game.
I just beat it. We
Nope.
talked about it in what we
Yeah.
played about this week, but it was weird that they did the DLC like speedrunning levels staggered, right? Like
Yeah.
that's strange, right?
I
'Cause
feel like
for me,
it
I was
had-
like, this is a speedrun thing, and you released it really slow.
I feel like it has something to do with the fact that Astrobot was initially going to be released with the PS5 Pro. So I'm assuming if they stuck to that plan, all this stuff was timed to come out around this time when the PS5 Pro came out. Since they didn't stick with that, they probably weren't finished with the speedrun stuff, and they wanted to get this game out.
Mm-hmm.
You still had to wait for that because the speedrun stuff was still in time with the PS5 Pro, which recently just released.
Strange.
That's my assumption.
Yeah. I feel like here's the thing though. I mean, I played all of them except for the one that just came out the day that we're recording currently. I think it came out today, right?
Yeah, this is today's news.
So I haven't played that one yet, but like, it was just so weird to me because I feel like we've never seen individual levels released like that before in a game, where it's just like, oh, here's a 2-minute thing that you can do that also you can do faster because it's meant to be speedrun. Like that's
not to my knowledge, unless you don't count things like shooters with
like maps and stuff.
Yeah, like maps.
I guess. Yeah. I ironically, I was going to say, I don't see the replayability in these levels, but like when I beat them, I was like, I'm done with this. I'm not playing this again. I'm not getting the high score. I know that I'm not getting the high score. So I just kind of was like, give me the trophy and let me go.
I haven't tried any of the speedruns. I'd be interested in it.
Pretty good. They're fun. They're just very much like get in and get out because that's
the nature of it.
The point, you know. But I'm only missing 2 trophies that came out today with today's final level, and then my Astrobot disc will be going back to its original owner.
Understood.
And I will never touch it again, probably. So.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Next up
in the news, Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner is reportedly in talks to play Lara Croft in Prime Video's upcoming live-action Tomb Raider series. The series will be written and executive produced by Fleabag creator Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I didn't know if it was Bridge or Bridgerton.
Fleabag, is that a show? A movie?
I think it's a movie.
I don't know anything.
Fleabag. You know what? We have the technology. While I look this up, you can vamp. What are your thoughts on this casting?
I mean, we have a picture here side by side of Sophie Turner and Lara Croft. I can see it. As far as like just face goes, I can see it.
Fleabag is a 2016 drama that went till 2019 and was a Golden Globe Award for Best Performance winner. So I guess it was good.
I guess so.
So maybe we'll be getting a good Tomb Raider show. I feel like shows are the correct choice. I trust Prime after Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
How many times did Tomb Raider try to get adapted again? Wasn't it like 2 or 3?
Into a show?
Well, there was the first movie with Angelina Jolie, right?
Didn't she have like 2 or 3 of them?
I thought she just had one. Because
like
then I remember there was like another one that came out like when I was at the end of high school. That was like a remake type situation. Like, hey, we're doing this again.
I remember
with
that.
Someone else.
I remember that, and I remember it not being like as acclaimed as the Jolie ones.
I don't even think I've ever seen any, to be honest with you. Like the most exposure that I have to Tomb Raider is back on the PS1. I had demo discs exclusively. That's part of my lore. And there was a demo for the original Tomb Raider on one of the discs, and it was just this like underground like tomb. And there was like a little like underwater area that you could swim underneath, and then you had to fight a tiger, but they didn't give you enough ammunition to kill the tiger in the demo, so the tiger would always kill you.
I remember that.
So like, but we would play it all the time. Like I would always run it, and like my bitch ass, I would like corner peek before corner peeking was the thing, where I'd use the camera to like see around corners and shit. Just be like, is a tiger over there?
Those 2 stagnant pistol like.
Fucking awful, dude. There's like a couple spots of like platforming too, I think. But
there were
the
2
bad.
Angelina Jolie ones. There was
Really?
Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, and what is it? No, that's the remake one. And this one, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life.
That's such a bad name.
And I think the one you were talking about was 2018, and it was
Just
Tomb Raider Ascension.
Ugh. So they've tried this 3 times already, technically, because the sequel obviously didn't do great for.
Oh wait, there was something called just Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that was the most recent one.
That's 2018. I apologize.
Yeah.
What is this Ascension thing I'm looking at?
There's just too much Tomb Raider. Hopefully they get it right. Like, not that there's like a right and a wrong, but it's like at a certain point you got to stop with a franchise, I think. And there's so many other franchises that maybe deserve a TV series, maybe before Tomb Raiders. No offense, but that's just me. That's just what I'm thinking.
Well, I know the Tomb Raider games that came out around that time, the 2018 one, were really like good. That was like her resurgence. So I'm sure they were trying to capitalize on that. Obviously, it didn't work as well as they wanted it to with that movie, but like you said, I think TV show could be the way to go.
TV show for sure. I mean, it's just Indiana Jones, to be honest. Like, it was just like back in the day when it came out, it was like the alternative to Indiana Jones. You know, it's like, here's Indy, but with triangle boobs.
Yep.
And that was the whole thing. But now she's cooler, you know, and I kind of like that. But, you know, I feel like we never got a live action TV series of Uncharted yet, right? That's still just the movie with Tom Holland.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that could also be a good TV. You know what they should do? They should make this, and then at the end of the season, there's like a post-credits scene, and it's just Nathan Drake. And they're in the same world, and they're both trying to go after the same treasure or something.
At this point, those worlds need to come together.
It makes the most sense. It's almost like strange that they haven't.
No, I get why they haven't, only because, I mean, outside of the obvious, it's two different studios who make those games. But I could see if they like this, let's say that this knocks it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Nathan Drake is from that Indiana Jones Tomb Raider tree. He's the next version of that.
Mm-hmm.
I can see those two worlds coming together. And I think that would be a smart idea, especially given the fact, as we'll talk about more about later, but you know how like they're trying to focus, PlayStation focuses primarily, at least they attempt to focus primarily on their properties, their IPs. And now that, you know, games are starting to just slowly go to everywhere, I would not mind a Nathan Drake meets Tomb Raider universe into a game.
Oh yeah,
only on, like that would sell them 1 million copies on PlayStation.
Oh, for sure. Honestly, I would love if they made a game where it's kind of like the game that we tried to beat, but I don't think we ever did. The It Takes Two one, but the cops, the guys in prison. That one, we played that for a little bit, but then I think something went wrong with your account linking or some bullshit.
No, it wasn't that. That was not this game. That's when we tried to play It Takes Two. And the account went linked.
Okay, same studio, but either way, they should do that. And like have it like a 2-player game where it's like one of you is Nathan Drake, one of you is Lara Croft, and you guys aren't technically friends or like allies. You're both looking for the same treasure. You're both trying to do it at the same time. So you just decide to work together. But then eventually you have to fucking go for the treasure.
Go against each other.
Yeah. And it like you are enemies the entire time. Like there's like little things you could do to trip each other up, and like maybe there's like a little boulder run scene or something, or like a car chasing you. You could be like, oopsie doopsie, and just like throw like a fucking box of oranges in front of like Nathan Drake, and then he slips and falls cartoon style. Like that'd be so cool.
Wait, I got it. I got an idea. If it wasn't, let's say it got popular enough to where like it's a movie or a show or something. It's Mr. and Mrs. Smith minus like the romance of it.
Oh fuck yeah. That's entirely what it is. Yeah.
That would be fun. I think that would be dope.
Yeah. No romance. We don't need that shit. It's just
we're begrudgingly working together until we have to face each other.
It's like back in elementary school when like you would be competing with someone in class to be smarter with them, and you're like, "That's my rival." You know? It's your Pokemon rival. You know.
I think that would work.
That would be great. They should do that. Next story.
Xbox is working on handheld gaming prototypes. Its gaming CEO has confirmed, Phil Spencer has confirmed, but any potential device is years away. This is coming from a Bloomberg interview that Phil Spencer recently did. We'll get into more things he said regarding Xbox as we go through the news, but this is one of the biggest standouts. I think we knew this. they've already been toying with the idea of an Xbox handheld. I only posted this because I'm like, well, he pretty much confirmed that it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But what is that if it's not just another ROG Ally or Steam Deck or what? Why? Like, what makes this needed?
I don't think it's needed by any means, but at the same time, I don't know how easy it is to access Game Pass on those devices, at least for Steam Deck, because it's that it runs Linux, obviously.
Yeah.
You can change it over to Windows if you want, but then it like voids shit or whatever.
Yeah, there's loopholes to jump through. I know ROG Ally, it pretty much markets itself like, you can get Xbox Game Pass.
So if it was like a built-in function, I feel like that's definitely a different story, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's just another way for people to get into the Xbox ecosystem, which they have money to spare because it's Microsoft. So they don't give a fuck. Like, here's the thing: it could fail. It might probably fail, to be honest, because you have the things like the ROG Ally and also the Steam Deck that have the availability to get Game Pass if you really, really want it. But people like ease of use. That's why they buy iPhones still.
I honestly, like, at first I read this and like I just said, I was just like, why?
Mm-hmm.
But then I was just like, Xbox is doing this thing right now where like you can connect to Game Pass through TVs now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously PC,
Fire Stick,
everything. Like, there's all these ways to do it. So I think they're just trying to find any way in.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess for kids whose parents don't want it, like, I'm not spending $500 on a console. I'm sure this would be cheaper than that.
Oh, for sure. This is like the kid version. It's like the Switch Lite, practically.
Right. Sometimes I realize I have to think outside of like who we are as gamers.
Yeah.
Because if I think about like Trenton, like, he'd be all over this because there's somebody who just wants to play like Roblox and stuff and play with his friends on because he just goes on Game Pass and his friends that he plays with on Xbox Live, they just find a free game and they download it and play together.
I like that.
For that audience, I think this they'd go crazy for this.
That shit's gonna get full so quick for you, though. You know that.
I know. I'm gonna have to
You're
buy
gonna have to uninstall so many games.
So many like SD cards or however they're gonna do it by the time this thing comes out.
Why is your Xbox handheld full already? Well, I have 8,000 free games downloaded, all 1 gigabyte.
Exactly. I think they can pull it off as long as they have to market this a very specific way. But I don't know. I don't think it's impossible. I'm just curious to see how they do it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's gonna sell. It's Xbox. They got good shit. I mean, you just bought a controller just because it's see-through. They make a see-through version of this, and you're fucking buying.
I might have to legally buy it.
That's the rules. Keeping with Xbox, though, Xbox isn't ruling out any game for PlayStation 5 or Switch. The CEO, Phil Spencer, has reiterated, quote, I do not see sort of red lines in our portfolio that say thou must not, which is a really weird way to say that, Phil.
But this pretty much goes to what we were talking about before. Like, everything's going everywhere at this point. At this point, like, if this was a year or two ago, we were reporting on this and we were like, they're never going to put this over here. They might put this over there, but never this game. They just announced, it was a PlayStation exclusive. It's coming up in the news. We'll talk about it when it comes. But Death Stranding just got, like, Shadow released on Xbox.
I can't wait till we see Halo on the PlayStation one day and we're just like, holy shit.
Oh, I didn't put that in here. Oh, I'm glad I remembered it. They're bringing Master Chief is supposed to come to Black Ops 6. It's like, it's already happening.
No, dude. Oh man, that changes everything. I was gonna praise Call of Duty and what we played. I'm gonna have to edit this. Never mind. No,
that's fine.
No, because it's some bullshit. We'll get to it. Yeah. It's fine. Fuck Call of Duty again. I'm back on the fuck Call of Duty train.
Yo, this Call of Duty broke so many records. Just like they say, they're praising it.
Oh, I talked about it.
Okay.
Technically.
Okay. All right.
Well, if you already heard what regular Chris said, what is it? What's regular Chris compared to news Chris? I don't know.
Regular
we have
Chris.
too many fucking characters on this shit. Yeah, right? So yeah, Halo's coming to PlayStation probably.
I could probably see that happening.
Yeah.
They are working on the next Halo now. I know. I said that, but then I saw like they put out this video of because they're using Unreal Engine now.
Yeah.
So it looks all beautiful and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they're retooling it. Obviously, like they said this the last two Halos, but they're retooling it. But I could see like the Master Chief Collection, like of the old ones coming to PlayStation.
That's the perfect game to bring over. Just the Master Chief Collection by itself, and just be like, here you go. And then maybe the next one, like when it is fully finished and whatnot, it can release on everything all at once. And that would be like its selling point. Honestly, I would buy it. I would buy a physical copy of Halo for the PlayStation 5 just to be like, look at this shit. This is fucking crazy.
Insane.
Like, this is unheard of. This is like some butterfly shit moment type stuff.
It's wild, man. We all like PlayStation exclusives are now, they're all pretty much coming to PC.
Yeah.
So nothing like, I think the days of exclusivity outside of very specific games. But I can't even say that because my example was going to be Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's on PC.
Spider-Man is on PC. Modded the fuck out of that already.
Yeah, I've seen some of those. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be just Nintendo who just keeps all their shit to themselves.
Dude, I saw a TikTok today about them, how they were like, hey, let's remake this 3DS game, $60. Let's do this Wii U game, $60, blah, blah, blah. And it's all of these like remakes and blah, blah, blah. And then I don't know if you recently saw what's on the eShop store, but it's on. I sent you it on, I think, Instagram. But Hentai Collection.
Yes, I responded.
The game was added. They're charging $70 for that.
What?
For the base version. The base version of that. First of all,
it had 17 DLCs or upgrades or whatever you want to call them.
If you haven't seen this, go to your Nintendo's eShop and look up Hentai Collection, the game. There is the base version, which is more than a normal Nintendo Switch game at $70. And then there is like 17 deluxe versions that are different versions of deluxe. And it's insane.
It is. It's so stupid.
But it's on the eShop. So,
hey man, you gotta pay for tits.
Xbox isn't ruling out any game.
You gotta pay for them titties, man. Them animated titties.
Goddamn. Next up, what do we got? More Xbox.
Just going through this Xbox interview. Xbox is still open to more acquisitions. Phil Spencer said, "We definitely want to be in the market." Yeah, so I guess more acquisitions. At this point, I wouldn't even know who to guess that they're going to acquire.
Also, why are they acquiring so many studios now when they're focused on having their games on everything, when they could just produce it and just pay the studios to be like, hey, put our name on it, but we don't own you?
Because it always will come back in some way, shape, or form, big or small, to the Microsoft wallet. Like Call of Duty is the biggest example. They could position Call of Duty to, now they can pitch that, especially with the success of Black Ops 6, they can pitch themselves to any studio and be like, look what we did for Call of Duty. Call of Duty was already huge, and now look, we did it even bigger for them.
Yeah. They know what they're doing. It's just weird to me. I mean, obviously, I'm not thinking as like a business. I'm more so thinking as like, why are they being so greedy? You know, it's like even Sony is doing it with the amount of studios that they acquired last year and the year prior. It's one of those things where I'm like, why do you need to own them? At least with Sony, they at least felt like they were like, no, this is our game. These are our studio. Xbox is now just like,
everybody.
They're hippies now. Xbox is hippies. Like, be free, man. Like, we should all play together, dude. And like, that's the whole thing.
You know what? They are hippies. Microsoft is the hippies of the game industry. Yeah. Like, let's all be together, free love.
And then Sony's just the businessman with
their
real tie.
Sony is like trying to hold on, but they're like, fuck, they're begrudgingly working with you. I don't know what that's considered. If they're hippies, I don't know what that is. That's just, Sony's just
they're getting secondhand high from all the shit that Xbox is smoking. All that green.
Sony is being not won over, but like encouraged by the hippies. They don't like it, but they have to play ball. And Nintendo is this Fort Knox, like, everybody get out, closing the door. We're having our own party in here. None of you are invited.
We've got deluxe hentai.
Right, exactly. And we don't want to come to yours either. No, actually, Nintendo was like, everybody can come, but we're not letting our party goers come to your party.
Everybody can come.
Hentai.
Moving on. Sony has cut the PS5 Slim digital price by $70 until Christmas. The disc-free console is now available for $379.99. Does that make it any more appealing to you?
The PlayStation 5?
Yeah, or is this the pro? Or
No, this is just the base.
Oh, fuck this! No, I thought it was the pro version. Here's the thing.
Honestly,
I don't know how to read.
An insane price drop if that was the pro.
If that was the pro, I'd be buying a pro today.
That would be ridiculous. This is like, I would just, after we were done here tomorrow, I would just go trade that in and get a pro if it was like that.
So then, okay, do you think this is a fair price for the slim digital edition, no disc whatsoever?
Yeah.
$379.99. I think this is what it should be default without a disc drive.
I can see that, especially now. We're a couple years past the release.
Yeah.
They've already remodeled the console. We got the slim. Like, this is kind of at the time where they would start like chipping away at the price.
How much is the disc drive?
It's like $70, $80.
These motherfuckers just took off the price of the disc drive.
Yeah.
So that you buy more shit.
Yeah. Well, no, all right. To be fair, with the disc version of the base console is $500, right?
Yeah, but
that would bring it down to $420. 420.69. I had to just say the numbers. I couldn't. It was in my brain. I had to get out. So then they're dropping it another $40.
Yeah, but how much is the vertical stand?
I don't even
is it
want to know.
$40?
This is gonna be
Is the vertical stand $40? We're doing math here on the Save Before Quitting podcast to make sure that this isn't some bullshit that's happening in the background. How much is it?
$30.
You save $10. Fuck. Sony, what the fuck, man?
They'll just be like, well, lay your shit down then.
See, here's the thing that pisses me off.
Oh, it's hilarious.
We'll move on in a second from this. The picture that we're looking at right now, the advertisement for this sale, if you want to call it that, Sony. The motherfucking PlayStation is standing.
It is.
Why? If you're not gonna sell this or give the stand like you did with all the rest of us, like I got my stand and it's standing proudly up like fucking Kaiba, looking like Yu-Gi-Oh and shit. Don't advertise it like this. Put it on its side.
Wait. Read the small print.
It says it.
Offer ends 12/24. Retailer price may vary while supplies last. Vertical stand sold separately.
That's why I brought it up.
Disc-free console.
It's such a... I think we should move on because I'm getting tilted.
All right,
at Sony. Sony's tilting me. Sad. Next up in the news.
And Insomniac Games has paid tribute to veteran actor and Spider-Man 2 voice artist Tony Todd, who has died. Todd will posthumously star in next month's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Oh, now I want to play that now. That's the only reason I want to play that, because I love his voice acting.
R.I.P., man.
Did great as Venom.
Yes, the greatest Venom.
Yeah. The movie was bad. Venom 3. I saw it. It was rough. We'll talk about that probably on Patreon.
That's cool.
That's one of my topics. But yeah, sad news. Go play Spider-Man 2 again to listen to his work, and also Indiana Jones coming soon.
Word.
Next up, more TV series. The Mass Effect TV series, originally reported a few years back, is now officially in development, according to a new report. Fast and Furious 9 writer Daniel Casey is said to be writing the Amazon MGM Studios show. That last sentence made everything worse. Why would you get a writer from the Fast and Furious franchise?
Because Fast and Furious sells hundreds of millions of tickets.
I gotta play Mass Effect. I've never played it. I've heard 3 is the best.
I heard 2 was the best.
Really?
Yeah. I have the collection, never touched it.
I never had the collection. I think I might have it on like PlayStation from like whatever.
Probably
PlayStation
cheap as
Plus
hell
I
now.
have.
Yeah.
But I've never touched it. Maybe that's the next game I play on stream after Resident Evil 4.
That'd be a good one.
Because that's going well. But yeah, Mass Effect series is coming soon. I haven't played it, so I don't have much to say. Next up in the news.
Warner Brothers Discovery says its games business is substantially underperforming its potential at the moment, citing multiverses as the reason for a $100 million drop year on year in the third quarter. That's Wow.
I mean, it's a free game. What do you expect? No offense.
Yeah, so they're pretty much just lost all the money they put into it because not enough people are playing it.
Yeah, not enough people are playing it. No offense to the game itself, but I remember when it first came out, it was having issues with online. Like, it was super slow and shit, so that was an issue.
It's back now. They redid it.
It's back now. There's new characters. There's a bunch, like, that I didn't even know were it. Like, fucking Mr. Anderson, or not Mr. Anderson, Mr. Smith from
Agent
Matrix.
Smith
Is in there. Fucking Jason Voorhees is in the back. Tom and Jerry, I think, were previously a character that we played. The banana guard from Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Like Marvin the Martian at the very right. Didn't even see him. He's the OG. But like they have all these IPs, and obviously they own these IPs, and like they're from their studios and whatnot. But it's like you gotta. I would assume that they have to, pay the people who came up with the characters. Like there's a certain amount of money that DC is getting for the amount of DC characters they have in here, right?
You know they had to pay.
LeBron's getting a fucking check.
That's what I was about to say. Think about how much money they're probably paying LeBron. They paid LeBron James.
Do you think that they're paying The Rock for Black Adam, or they specifically made it comics so that they didn't have to give him a cent?
I don't know. It's a good question. I think
he's got some news about him that came out today too.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think if they didn't pay him, they strategically used him, the timing of which they used him to capitalize off of that.
For sure. That's sad. I mean, we still got to get back into this. I
had fun with it.
Yeah, we were good. Like we were a solid tag team. We were fucking dunking people off the map and shit, which was insane.
That's still, I mean, even if it didn't get the most views, that's still one of the greatest TikTok clips ever clipped by you.
I gotta go back and find
that shit was so perfectly timed.
Dunked on him
at the same time. That was some tag team action right there.
We gotta do that at some point. We'll play more of it soon. But next up in the news.
Yeah, well, I mentioned this earlier, but in a surprise to fans, Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding has been released for Xbox. Death Stranding 2 is in the works. It's coming out. But this was just shadow dropped. Like one morning, they were just like, boom, here it is. It's on Xbox now.
I kind of want to play this game just for the shits and giggles of it. Because, like, it doesn't look like fun to me at all. But, like, people love it.
People do.
I've realized this by accident. I've never played a Hideo Kojima game in my life.
You played no Metal Gears?
Never. I don't even know Metal Gear. Like, I know Solid Snake is a thing, but then I heard there was a Liquid one.
Liquid Snake, Solid Snake.
Is there a Water Snake?
Liquid
Is that
Snake.
Liquid? Oh, shit. Solid Snake, Liquid. These are gas.
Gas Snake?
Do we have all of the... Is there a Plasma Snake?
I don't think so.
Shit.
I didn't play Metal Gear 4, so maybe he's in there somewhere. I don't know.
It's the secret ending.
Right.
But I feel like I gotta play a Hideo Kojima game, right? Like, you can't call yourself a gamer.
You gotta play, like, games like this because Hideo Kojima is so weird, for lack of better terms. Like, his games are just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like the trailers for the newer one that's coming out, the sequel, is making me want to play this one more because of it's even more insane, I feel like, in the second one trailer.
It looks like it.
Because, like, the stop motion puppet companion.
Yeah, I forgot about that shit.
That freaks me out so much. I need to see
what's happening.
Yeah, like, I need to know what the fuck that is. Like, what is that? I don't know, man. It's weird. But maybe I'll play it. We'll see. Next up, though, Steam. I didn't know this, which is going to be great for me. Steam's new game recording feature is now available for everyone. The built-in system for creating and sharing gameplay footage works on Steam Deck too. So it looks like you can record, you can clip, you can share it, and you can do a little replay, which is great. Discord has this feature now too. If you're in like a voice chat with someone and you stream your game to them, you can hit a Alt-C and it'll clip like the last minute or so, and you can edit it down, which is nice. If you do decide to do that, keep in mind it doesn't save it to like some Discord server off in Ohio somewhere. It saves it directly on your computer, and if you do it a lot, it fills up fast.
Yeah, you're gonna be chugging along.
I learned from
hard
experience.
Drive just for that.
Honestly, I kind of want to because I'd be clipping some shit a lot on Discord.
I know you do.
But yeah, man, you can do it on Steam directly now, which is really cool. I haven't done it yet myself, so I don't know how well the feature works, but maybe we'll test it out next time I play Resident Evil on stream.
There you go.
We'll see.
Perfect.
Next up, water is wet.
I usually have a funny caption for all of them, but I was in a rush today. But this one needed one. Nintendo has confirmed that the successor to the Nintendo Switch will be backwards compatible with Nintendo Switch software.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume that.
I'm curious if it will also be compatible with Nintendo Switch hardware. As in Pro
Good
controllers,
question.
Joy-Cons, other
I could see
extremities.
the Pro controllers. I could see them changing the way the Joy-Cons work or something.
Or you can only connect the Joy-Cons like in their controller form. There's no motion or something.
True. Like I'm sure, or you can play with the Joy-Cons, but you'll be missing like a new feature.
Do you think they're doing another like a Joy-Con 2? Like another feature? Is that like confirmed yet? Do we ever hear anything about like that for the successor?
I think there will be new Joy-Cons. There have been rumors about it, but I think it will be Joy-Cons again. Like I think this is a direct sequel to the Nintendo Switch.
I hope they make them ergonomic, like better fit to the hand. You know, like kind of like how, ironically, we already brought up the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck are. Like they fit in your hand and they feel good in your hand. You know,
there's a grip to them.
Like for me, I have a Nintendo Switch, but I refuse to play it because it's the most uncomfortable thing.
The little buttons.
Like with your hand, like it also just doesn't feel right, you know? Like it doesn't have like any like thing for like the bottom of your hand. It's just like a little skinny thing.
I've definitely played the Switch for like a long period of time, and I have to pause it and just be like, like shake my hand up.
It's weird because like I think about like old Nintendo consoles. Like I remember the Game Boy SP, which is probably the thing that I put the most time into from any Nintendo standpoint. And like I never felt any way with my hand. Like that felt perfect, but it's ironically similar to the Joy-Con.
Fucking square. Like
and it's like I think it might even be the same like width
as well.
or like as Joy-Cons. Like you know how tall it is off.
Oh
of the
yeah.
surface, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I feel like when you open up the SP, I think it's the same width as a Joy-Con, but it's more comfortable somehow. I don't know. Either way,
handheld, man.
I hope that they fix up the Joy-Cons so that they're a little bit more friendly to hands.
I think
that's the podcast title.
Friendly to hands. I'm interested in this because I think it's well, no, that's not true. I was about to say it's the first direct sequel to a console. Like not the first, but like the second. But then no, because if you count Wii U, and Nintendo, Super Nintendo. So
I feel like I've said that before where I'm like, they've never done a sequel. And then you were like, bitch.
Yeah, I don't
my
know.
cabinet.
I'm still very interested as to what the hell they call this. It like, you know what? I keep on, I'm still on the Super Nintendo Switch train because I think that would be just a dope ass callback to Super Nintendo. But I would love to see a world where Nintendo has the balls to just be like, it's just Nintendo Switch 2. That's it. It's
I feel like
just
it's either going to be Nintendo Switch 2 or it's going to be Super Nintendo Switch because both of those are perfect. Like one's so simple that it makes sense. One's so creative that it makes sense and it works.
And it's a callback.
Yeah, it's a nice callback. You can even put the word entertainment in between somewhere. Like get the E in there. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not a Nintendo gamer, if you couldn't tell. I am very interested in the new Mario Party, though, ironically. Because
they got amazing reviews. We might have to get that, that's be our next like together series.
We should. I played it for the first time over at Pib Extra's house. He picked it up, and we had a movie day, and then came back, and we were all playing it, and I got the controller. And I played as my boy Spike. Nice. You know, Spike, little green dude.
Yeah.
I was fucking demolished and embarrassed. Like, it felt like I had wronged the developer with how much bad luck I was having. Like, I would always get fucked over with coins. I think I lost every minigame.
Oh, shit.
They also had multiple times where the minigame, and this is like the short version, you know, like where you're like, oh, I want to play for 60 minutes. And you have like maybe, I don't know how many minigames, 10 minigames total. Out of the 10, probably 7 of them felt like they were 3 people against me.
Oh shit.
So I was getting fucked. And then there's this new item where there's like a trap and you can steal stars from people if they land on it.
Mhm.
And I got someone to land on mine. I got their star. And then I landed on someone's trap and gave the star to someone else immediately. I was the only person in the lobby to not have a star.
That sucks.
Yeah, I got
That
fucked.
sucks.
So I need to redeem myself.
All right, good, because I haven't played it yet. So
Yeah.
I'm
There's a
interested.
single player mode as well, which is pretty cool.
Dope.
But next up in the news, Warner says Hogwarts Legacy sequel will tie in with the storylines in the new Harry Potter HBO series. The game has now sold over 30 million copies, and a follow-up is a very big priority for them and their top executives. I never beat this game, mainly because of the fact that it wasn't that good. If I'm being honest, not that it was a bad game by any means. It was perfectly fine. It's just I don't like Harry Potter as much as I thought I do. First of all, I hate the character of Harry Potter, so let's just get that out of the way. I like the wizarding world,
Yeah.
but I don't like Hogwarts. Like it feels dumb.
Well
like,
said.
Like the magic is stupid, and like it I don't know, man. Like when you play D&D enough, and I've not played it enough, which is surprising, you start to think the magic in Harry Potter just sucks. Like, ooh, look at me, I got a little stick.
I feel like it's just the barrier of entry is lower, so it has to be simplified for the general audience.
It's just not good. It just ruins magic, and the magic's look at these fucking idiots in this picture. He's putting his stick in a fucking cauldron while she pours in fucking vodka, like, and then there's just like a fucking like a dark spirit in the background, like yes, mix the juice. Like what the fuck is this?
We have to clip this because I
can't
can't
put
wait.
the picture on the street.
I can't wait to get the people hating you.
Well, in the
comments.
Harry Potter is boring. I'm sorry. First of all, him himself is boring. Daniel Radcliffe, the character of Harry Potter, is boring. The magic is boring, but the world is fucking sick. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I have not seen all the Harry Potter movies. I have not watched them all. I mean, but they have such a huge following. Of course, I attempted it. I just never watched all of them. I'm not against it. I'm just not super familiar with all of Harry Potter.
I'm against it.
My wife loves Harry Potter. She has Hogwarts Legacy on her Switch.
How did it run on Switch? Because I remember it ran shit on my PC.
I don't know. I didn't watch her play it. She has it though.
She has a good play.
But I say that because it's people like that who got this game to 30 million copies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The one thing I'll give respect to this game, because Hogwarts Legacy had a lot of hoops and shit to jump through upon release, because it was very polarizing and controversial upon release, and people talking about it online, whether they loved it or they hated it. But one thing I did notice is that people who weren't even gamers was like, I want to play this game. I'll be a gamer for a while because I want to play the Harry Potter game.
For sure.
Like, especially like women who are not in, I've noticed, who aren't in gaming culture. Like, there's a Harry Potter game, I want to play that and create my character. And
for sure. Yeah,
be in this world. So I understand why this is a very big priority for Warner.
I didn't know there was an HBO series that's coming as well, which is confusing. So I mean, I'm just asking questions out into the ether right now.
It's a Hogwarts series, so I don't think it's
not
about
Harry Potter. Okay, cool. I was gonna say, what are they just remaking it from the ground? Like,
I mean, if they're doing that, I don't know about it. I could have sworn I heard that it's just like Hogwarts stuff happening.
Hogwarts is also like the world doesn't make sense. I forget who I watched the clip of, but someone was like, it doesn't make sense how the wizarding world abides by the rules of this one school. You know what I'm saying? Like the school makes the rules for the wizarding world, which is really weird if you think about it, and kind of like Big Brothery.
It's a really like chicken and the egg theory. Like, so then what happened first? Like how?
But then you got to break it down. And then another thing is, how do they deliver their mail?
What do you mean?
How do they deliver their mail in Harry Potter?
I don't know.
You gotta know. Even if you don't watch the series, you gotta know the one thing that they like give the letters to what. There's a specific animal that transports their mail. It's a bird. I'll give you that.
I have not seen Harry Potter enough.
It's an owl. If you don't know.
Got it.
So,
thank you.
Owls are like the worst long distance flying birds, right?
Not in the wizard world.
Well, that's the thing. The wizards made them their carrier pigeons, and they're not good at doing that. Also,
they're magic owls, Chris.
But here's the thing. They have magic to just make the thing go to who they want it to go to. But they choose to make an owl take it. That's fucking, like, animal abuse. They're doing animal abuse at Hogwarts, straight up.
They probably instill some kind of magic in it.
No.
To go do its thing.
They're just like,
Just
here's a letter, see ya. And then it just flies off. And it knows where to go. But it takes a while. Like there's a solid. I'm pretty sure there's a movie in which Harry's like, "Here, take this Christmas letter to someone," and then his I know this owl's name's Hedwig. It like goes. It doesn't come back for like another movie. Mm-hmm. Like it's gone for a movie.
It was a Christmas letter.
Yeah, like this is like Christmas time at Hogwarts.
How does Christmas work in the
That's
wizarding
a great
world?
question.
Because for all intents and purposes, isn't Santa Claus like magic? So is he a wizard in this world?
Santa Claus might not even exist.
But
Santa Claus might just be a wizard that just gave gifts to like one kid one day. That's another thing that's crazy is that the wizarding world is like practically Big Brother over the real world because they coexist at the same time, but only one knows of the other. The human world doesn't know shit about the wizarding world.
But what about the wizards like Harry who came from the regular world? I would assume that word would have to get back that there's a wizard world.
Though. But it doesn't.
How could it not?
Because magic. See, that's why it sucks. It's fucking shit. Next story.
All right. The newly launched Pokemon trading card game Pocket is currently earning 3 times what Pokemon Go does per day. Estimates suggest. It's claimed the game has made $12 million in its first 4 days. Obviously,
shit.
Pokemon Go is old as fuck.
Well, it's not even that. It's the fact that Pokemon Go, the in-game purchases, aren't that big of a deal. It's items you can get from just walking around and like spinning Pokestops. You're opening packs of cards digitally in this. You're paying for the packs. Obviously, it's making more money. That being said, I kind of want to do that.
I figured that you were a lot of my motivation for putting this in the news in the first place.
If you didn't know, I've been playing TCG Card Simulator on stream every once in a while after the backyard baseball games because Coach Kingley's got a secondary side business after coaching the kids.
Got to do that.
You're gonna stop by Coach Kingley's cards and shit. 3 eyes. Anyway, but this is like it's perfect because at least for a person like me, I've been downsizing a lot when it comes to collections and shit as of late, just because I have too much shit, not enough space. This is like kind of the perfect thing if you want to get into TCG, but you don't care about playing the game itself, or if you don't actually want to buy the physical cards because, these are, I don't know if they're going to do any sort of thing where you can trade your cards that you have with other people. I don't know.
I feel like that is such an oversight if they didn't.
But if they did as well, then I feel like it would make a secondary market as well. Because they did that for Pokemon Go every once in a while. You can go on eBay right now and buy someone's Pokemon Go account that has like specific badges or like stuff that can only be gotten at like events across the world that you couldn't get to and shit. Like if you wanted to get like, oh, I need this region exclusive Pokemon. Like in America, we have Tauros. Mm-hmm. Nowhere else in the world can you get a Tauros, at least from when I played. So if you don't have a friend in America that can trade you a Tauros,
you're out of luck.
You're out of luck. Or you can go onto eBay, and what you do is you literally pay this person, they become friends with you, and then they trade you the Pokemon that you want from the different region.
That's insane.
Yeah. So now think about that.
Not in a bad way, just the idea is
The idea is insane, but now think about that on the level of cards. Because
people are going to go
when it comes to Tauros, that's just a Pokemon, and it's nothing special. It's in your Pokedex now. This is like different artworks, different full arts, different variants of the same card, there's like gold versions, there's secret rares, there's all this extra shit added to it.
So many more layers.
It's almost like the Steam marketplace. Like it could turn into something like that where like you're like, hey, I have this Charizard VMAX blah 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 that in real life is probably worth maybe a couple hundred.
Yeah.
I am now selling the digital version for maybe a little bit less. It's almost like what's it called? Not crypto. What kind of crypto?
No, I get
what's
what
it
you're
called? The things that are just images and PNGs that people like.
Oh,
what? Why is the word escaping me?
yeah, I don't know. It's escaping me too. Hold on.
Bitcoin. No.
No.
I don't know. I lost it.
I'm just
People are screaming at us in the comments right
I
now.
know they are.
I literally have it on the tip of my tongue, but I can't find the word. It's just a PNG. It's an image. It's a.
Fuck. Why is it not coming up?
It's a. This is great content. Oh my god. We're both Googling now. What is the
NFTs.
NFT? Jesus.
Oh,
Christ.
that would have killed me if we didn't find it.
Cool. So it's kind of like NFTs.
Gotta put like something on the screen, like a clock.
Oh no, there's a
Minutes.
loading bar and smoke coming out of my ears, at least for 2 parts of that, because I was struggling. But I could see this becoming something like that with the secondary market, unless they have one already integrated into the app itself. I don't know if they do. I haven't tested it.
This falls
We'll get
right
back to you next
into
week.
the hands of NFT. Like this. It seems like they saw what NFT was. Like, oh, we're gonna destroy that with this.
Well, the crazy part to me is like people hate NFTs, right? And they don't like that a digital asset that is practically just pixels, if you think about it, in data, can be worth money, right? That's the whole like thing. Like, oh, it's just a drawing of a little like a monkey smoking a cigar with a bucket hat and like rainbow eyes. You know that one? Like, there's that variant, but it's like. But this is Pokemon cards. People already collect this in person and do it. This is the perfect
It's already a proven thing.
This should have been the NFT before the NFT.
Yeah.
NFT should have came after this, in my mind. Not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, just saying that chronologically, this makes more sense to have come first.
Understood.
But
yeah.
it didn't. That being said, I will be playing this probably, and I will get back to y'all on how I feel
I'm looking
about
forward to it.
Next up.
This was interesting. PlayStation's Wolverine director has taken over Xbox's Perfect Dark reboot. Ratchet & Clank leads will now helm Insomniac's Marvel title.
All right.
That's interesting for a couple of reasons. Obviously, we haven't heard shit about Perfect Dark for years. We were in the first studio when that trailer dropped for Perfect Dark.
Shit.
That was 4 years ago, 5 years ago now? 4? I don't know.
Dude, it's been
a long time. Quickly, too.
It's been.
Yeah, right? But then the extra layer of Ratchet & Clank leads will now take control of the Insomniac Wolverine game. So, all right. The person who was helming Insomniac's Wolverine is going over to work on an Xbox Perfect Dark, and the Ratchet & Clank team is being pushed to work on Wolverine.
Correct.
I know I said the same thing twice, but I'm still like working that out in my head because like, what's up with the Wolverine game then? What the fuck is happening with Wolverine and Perfect Dark? Are they in that bad of shape? Or is Wolverine, since the leaks happened, now they're like trying to readjust and figure shit out?
I think it might be a little bit of that, and maybe just Perfect Dark needing a director, if that makes sense. Like,
right.
Honestly, this could probably be like the simplest thing in the world where like PlayStation's Wolverine director was like, oh, the people over at Perfect Dark need a new director. Wolverine's kind of changing completely because of the leaks. Let me back off of it and give it to them so they can take it in the different direction, since the one that I was taking it in is now all over the place, maybe.
Right.
It could be as simple as that. But I mean, Ratchet and Clank was really good, so I have faith when it comes to them taking over Wolverine.
Well, don't get me wrong. for me, in my eyes, Insomniac can't do wrong. So
Yeah.
I'm not the Ratchet and Clank leads make sense because that's still with in-house. That's still Insomniac. So Insomniac gonna do Insomniac shit, and I'm never mad at that.
If anything, that just means we're getting both games sooner.
True,
because
Perfect
Wolverine
Dark, what the fuck?
still getting worked on. Perfect Dark, we actually have a director with it now, which is pretty good. So, I mean, we're getting games. Surprisingly, who would have thought? But yeah, next up, Nintendo is launching Nintendo Music, an app that will allow Nintendo Switch Online users to listen to soundtracks from Nintendo titles. I know one person that's going to buy that.
This already happened. This is an old headline, but I put it here because we never reported on it. Okay. So it's out right now. You can download it, I think, on your phones. Yeah. So if you have a Nintendo account, you can just open up Nintendo. It's like having Spotify, but it's all Nintendo music.
So like, are those songs not on Spotify, or is this just a way to be like, hey, we have this
all
now
in one place? I don't know. Good question. I have no idea.
Because I figured there's got to be game soundtracks on Spotify.
There are. There are, but I don't know. I don't know if Nintendo was like, we have our own app now. Come here to play those games. I mean, obviously, there's other game soundtracks outside of Nintendo which you could just look up. For sure. But as far as Nintendo specifically, now I guess they have their own app for that.
Hell yeah.
But I think it's one more story.
Last story, maybe. Is this you?
I'm pretty sure it's the last one.
What's up? COD for the win.
Activision Blizzard drove a 43% jump in Xbox's revenue during Microsoft's first quarter. I think we can all attribute that to Call of Duty.
Yeah, I sadly signed up for Game Pass for it, so I am a part of that 43%. According
to statistics, so did millions of people, which I think we all saw coming. Either there was a new account made or people re-upped. On Game Pass because Call of Duty, it's the most successful Call of Duty in years. That's what they would say.
Being able to play the entire game and not just Warzone, which is by default free, but free through Game Pass is insane.
It is insane. And this is what they've been leading to for years. It finally happened where Call of Duty is on Game Pass.
I'm curious to see how many people just bought the game itself, like the $60 or $70 game compared to Game Pass. Obviously, there's the PlayStation and the PC people, but I'm curious to see, I want to see the split of how many people are playing Black Ops 6 on Xbox because they bought it, or on Xbox because it's on Game Pass. I need to see that,
graph, I'm with you.
You know,
I'm with you.
I'm so fucking curious to see how that split is, but I mean. I talked about it a little bit in what we play this week, probably, because I play a lot of shit. I'm liking it, but goddamn, man, Call of Duty. I don't know how they're surviving still. It's one of those things where you look at the file size of their game and the quality that is it has gone down since ones back when I was a kid. In my opinion, I think that the Call of Duties of now are worse off than they were back then. And it's for, ironically, one of the reasons you brought up earlier where, someone like Master Chief is coming to the game because they've kind of gone the route of Fortnite. And if you look at the Modern Warfare 3 store before you go into Black Ops 3, it's just all these tracer packs and different skins and Gundams and Godzilla and Kong and Cheech and Chong and emoji faces and human bodies with cat heads and it's not Call of Duty anymore. It's its own thing, which is fine. It's changed, but it's this whole other beast where it feels like all they gave a shit about was microtransactions. And Black Ops 6, when I downloaded it and I started playing it, I looked at the shop and there were two things in it: the deluxe edition of the game, and then I forget what the other one was, supporting their Call of Duty charity or whatever. That was the two things in the store. That's it. And I was like, this is great. I can't believe it. They've gotten away from the whole battle pass bullshit. We don't care about a battle pass and skins. We don't care about tracer packs. And then today, it updated.
Uh-oh.
And season 1 started, and now there's a battle pass.
Of course.
There's a skin that's in the store that's like
There's
this giant medieval armor that looks like a dragon. But there's an effect that happens that's this bright fucking green fire that's coming from the inside of your body. So it's a pay to lose skin because you're just like, hey, look at me.
Yeah, you're just
look
bright.
at me.
I think there was no way that wasn't coming. Only
I
because
just hate it
there's
so much.
so many people playing this one specifically. You don't think they're not going to capitalize on that?
I don't mind it when it comes to like here's the thing. I didn't mind it when we went from Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3 because my skins and my guns transferred over. I don't give a fuck about the guns, but I feel like the skins should have still transferred over. I think the characters that you paid for to like look like and stuff should transfer over every game, at least now, because that's where we're at. You know,
right.
Like, we're at the point where like they're releasing skins in battle passes so often and tracer packs and their own bundles. You should let me keep my items. Obviously, the guns stay with the game that they're from,
right?
Because that makes sense. You know,
right.
like I'm not going to be using this type of gun in this setting anymore because it's Black Ops.
It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah,
got it.
But let me be Spawn still. You know,
yeah, why not? If you
like,
got these other characters,
I bought Spawn. I got fucking Black Noir. I've got Ghost, but he's like a cowboy, and he's got like a red like skull mask and a cowboy hat. Like I have like all these skins that I like spent money on because they're cool. And I didn't go ham on the shit, but now they're just gone.
Yeah,
they just exist in Modern Warfare 3, which I will never be playing again. So there's that. Maybe I think they're still in Warzone, which is a good thing, but like I don't understand why you couldn't, at least for like,
if they're gonna have all these
have it
hubs,
as an option.
These Call of Duty hubs, there might as well just be like, I don't know, create something just called like the Vault, where all of your shit, you just have this vault that carries over through each game. It would make a lot of sense.
Even if it just shows that you had it, like oh, this is what I had, and I can't use it in this mode, but I can use it in this mode. Something like that. Like, don't get rid of it entirely. That's just kind of a slap in the face. Like, that's why I feel like Fortnite works so well. It's because it's like the skins will never be taken away from people because the game stays the same. True. Call of Duty, the game is the same every fucking year. It's just like slightly better movement, slightly better guns, maybe, and that's it. So why are you taking my skins away?
Good question. What do you have to say for that, Activision?
That's my only problem. Other than that, it's pretty good.
Word.
I'm glad they're making money again. I'm glad Microsoft's doing good compared to when they didn't have fucking games.
Now they just have everybody else's games.
Yeah, now they have everyone else's games and you're going to them to play it.
Yeah,
which
they have everybody else's games and they're putting it on everything for you to play.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
But that's the news for this week.
Wait, there was one more story.
There's one more story.
Rocksteady is currently developing new Batman Arkham games.
Oh yeah, you did send me that.
They're remaking, I think, the original ones
Arkham
again.
Asylum.
Yeah, Arkham Asylum. They're remaking that one. And apparently a Batman Beyond, what was it called? Arkham, what did it say in this thing?
I don't know if I think it was like a tease name, but I don't think it's an official name.
Well,
my stomach is hungry.
Listen, I've been there. I actually ate before the recording this time. They're teasing a Batman Beyond themed Arkham game.
I fuck with it.
And if you have listened to at least 3 episodes of this show, because I feel like we bring it up at least once every 3 episodes or so, we have been dying for a Batman Beyond game.
Oh yeah.
So I'm very interested to see if they follow through with that.
I'm hoping that they update the movement a little bit compared to previous ones, because at least with Arkham, the Arkham series, when you're playing as Batman, you feel big, you know, like you're like big boy,
you're
big
like
bulky boy, yeah, and like you're walking most of the time. There's a run button, and it's like L2 or something, and it always pissed me off. I was like, why do I have to fucking hold L2 to run? But I feel like the movement has to feel a little bit more like Insomniac's Spider-Man, but still stick within the realm of Arkham, because like,
but Batman don't move like Spider-Man.
But Batman Beyond does.
Oh yeah, that
Batman Beyond is practically Spider-Man, but Batman.
Makes sense.
So like that's just his thing. It's like the Spider-Man 2099 and Batman Beyond are like the same person to me in my head, even though they're very different characters.
But I understand what you mean. Though.
But like the way that they move, the way that they get around the city, it feels like the exact same to me.
Yeah.
And like obviously the setting is the same for both of them. But Batman Beyond's fucking sick. So I hope we get something like that. And it's very good. I might play Asylum if they remake it. I've never actually played Arkham Asylum.
Really?
I've only played City and Night because I didn't like that in Arkham Asylum. It was just like this closed environment.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain games where I'm like, yeah, put me on a track and I'll make my way through it, like Resident Evil 4 specifically. But fucking when it comes to Batman, I was like, I want the city. I want Gotham.
Of course.
Like obviously Arkham Asylum is a part of Gotham, but like I want Gotham.
You want to travel through Gotham.
Exactly.
Explore
so
Gotham.
I played City. That was my first game. And then Arkham Knight, I was like, that was where my love of Red Hood started because that was his whole...
Yeah.
It was a variant of the Under the Red Hood story, but I loved it. People hate it. I love it. I think it's cool as shit. So yeah.
That is the news.
That is the news. Back to the other guys who definitely know what they already talked about.
Yup.
They know
Those
it all.
guys know what's up.
Take it away, guys. Well, that's the show, everybody. That's the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Another one in the tank.
Yeah.
Got plenty of stuff coming down in the future. You guys know where to go for all of that, obviously.
Yep. Everything is below.
Everything's below. And then if you don't know how to read, you can listen at Save the Letter B number 4 Quitting over on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. Titty Gang. Get your Titty Gang merch at savebeforequitting, fully spelled out.com. We got hoodies like what Ant's wearing over there. We got some hats. We got some NGP designs. I gotta make something new. I don't know. What merch do you guys want? What's the thing that you want on a hoodie that represents our channel so that you can show it off?
Good question.
Let us know, and then I'll do it. You can also go to our Discord, which the link is down in the description, where you can join, post your weekly pickups, look at the news ahead of time, tell us what you want to hear from news, recommend some games, post about your fitness. What else is there in our Discord?
New pickups, post, recommend some games to us. Or just general talk some shit.
Yeah, just talk and have a good time.
Post some game news. Maybe we haven't seen everything. We can't see it all. So post some game news in there. Post some podcast topics, Patreon topics. The choice is yours.
Last of all, Patreon, as you just mentioned. You can support us for as low as $5 a month, where you get a couple extra podcasts a month and some bonus content. I just posted Metal Hellsinger. I'm doing a solo playthrough of that, just casually recording it. No editing or anything. I'm just like, here's the game. So episode 1 of that is up on Patreon right now. You guys got early access to the Resident Evil 4 clipped video for episode 1. You'll get that whenever it comes out early as well, but it's going to go out to the main channel pretty soon.
Word.
Yeah, so do that. It helps us out very much so. And make sure to check us out on Twitch when we stream with crowd control soon, where you can fuck up our games. You're going to have a great time with that. With all the games that were listed, I was like, okay, this is more for Ant than it is for me now.
I can't wait to see this list.
Oh, yeah. Well, before you buy bits to fuck us over,
right,
make sure you
save before quitting.
We'll see you guys next month. Bye.
Peace.
Hey, thank you for watching this video. There's more where that came from.
Yes, there is. And if you want to see a video just like the one you just watched, you can click up here for that. Or if you want a video that YouTube recommended just for your nerdy gamer person's self, you can click right here on that video right there. And you can like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment on anything that you like.
All that good stuff.
All of it. And you can always remember to save before quitting.